Chapter 628. In the movie theater, Lin Xian and Linglong Shui sat in the middle. They bought some popcorn for her. Linglong Shui ate it to her heart's content. In the second row behind them, Lin Xian held a bucket of popcorn in each hand. Bing Lingyue also held a bucket of popcorn and sat behind them. If their attention wasn't on the movie, they would be able to see what Lin Xian and Bing Lingyue were doing. For example, if Lin Xian took advantage of Linglong Shui, they wouldn't be able to see it. Bing Lingyue didn't care about this. If they were fated to be together, why not? She came here with Linglong Yu. She was bored and came out to have some fun. Sister Bing, we have to be your last safeguard. We can't let Lin Xian take advantage of you. Linglong Yu said to Bing Lingyue with a serious expression. Bing Lingyue smiled and nodded. The movie started. Linglong Shui's attention was on the movie. In this movie, most people's attention was on the female companion. Most of the female companion's attention was on whether he was going to take advantage of her. Hurry up and take advantage of her. The rest of the people were watching the movie. For example, Linglong Shui was focused on the movie. Lin Xian obviously wanted to take advantage of her, but he didn't dare to. Xiao Linglong. Halfway through the movie, Lin Xian suddenly called out to Linglong Shui. Linglong Shui was completely immersed in the movie. For example, when the female lead was sad, her heart would also ache. When she heard Lin Xian's voice, she turned to look at Lin Xian. Do you want a broad and comfortable shoulder to lean on? Lin Xian shrugged his shoulder at Linglong Shui. No thank you. Linglong Shui rejected him decisively. Come on, it's more comfortable to watch the movie like this. If you really like this movie, it'll be a pity to miss out on this comfortable feeling. Liar. Linglong Shui said lightly. He wanted to take advantage of her. Linglong Shui wasn't stupid. She could definitely tell. Lin Xian touched the tip of his nose awkwardly. You just want to take advantage of me. Her tone became slightly cold. Cough. Lin Xian coughed dryly. Then tell me, you're leaning your head on my shoulder. I'm not touching you or doing anything. How am I taking advantage of you? Linglong Shui faintly frowned. And we're on a date, right? Then Lin Xian continued. Look at the other girls around you. Aren't many of them like this? She's always leaning into my arms. That's the guy taking advantage. I didn't ask you to lean into my arms, right? That's not necessary. Linglong Shui said indifferently. But I need it. You agreed to go on a date with me. I'm not taking advantage of you. Just lean on me. Linglong Shui. Was this person a pervert? That's not necessary. Linglong Shui's tone became a little more forceful. What kind of date is this? You're lying to me, Lin Xian said in an aggrieved tone. Linglong Shui. She turned her head and glanced at Lin Xian. What was this bastard trying to do? Look at other dates. The girls are all in the arms of the guys. I didn't ask you to be in my arms. I just asked you to lean on my shoulder. It's more comfortable for you to watch. How dare you yell at me? Lin Xian sniffled. Linglong Shui looked at the people around her. Those who came to watch romantic dramas were indeed men and women. They were basically all like this. Especially when Linglong Shui saw Lin Xian like this. She didn't know if he was acting or not. Then all right. She still couldn't bear it. The main thing was that Lin Xian had really helped her a lot. How could she not agree to this? Moreover, it was a date with him. She felt a little embarrassed. Hearing Linglong Shui's words, Lin Xian's eyes suddenly lit up. Hee success. Lin Xian didn't expect to do anything else. However, gradually becoming closer was good news. Come on. Lin Xian leaned his body towards Linglong Shui. Then she slowly leaned in. She was very nervous. Linglong Shui was also very nervous. After leaning in, Lin Xian didn't do anything else. She calmed down a little, and then focused on the good movie. Linglong Yue, who was behind them, suddenly saw this scene. Ah! Sister Bing, look. Look at them. Linglong Yue pointed to the front. When Bing Lingyue saw Linglong Shui leaning on Lin Xian's shoulder, she was slightly surprised. Bastard! 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 Linglong Yue was going crazy. Ding! Sensing Linglong Yue's displeasure, Adonis points plus 1 million. Ding! When Linglong Yue saw this scene, she crazily increased Lin Xian's Adonis points, causing Lin Xian to feel a little satisfied. On the other side, Ling Longxue had already forgotten to lean on Lin Xian. Anyway, her attention was no longer on it because the plot was very good. Her eyes were slightly red. Although she had never experienced love before, the plot and acting skills were simply too good. As expected of such a good reputation, it made her want to cry. After all, she was a woman. Ling Longyue, who was behind, also quickly focused on the plot. The entire theater was very quiet, but the sound of girls sobbing could be heard. It was really touching. Coupled with the interlude, these emotional girls could not take it. Anyway, this type of movie was to earn tears. Although it was filmed well, there was a common problem. The ending was always a tragedy. Near the end, Ling Longxue, an expert close to the heavenly Dao realm, cried in the background music. Although she was an expert, she was still a kind woman. In the entire theater, some of the girls were even crying. Some of them were hitting their boyfriends' chests. Lin Xian was waiting for this moment. Then, he hurriedly passed a piece of paper over. "Wipe it." Ling Longxue took it and wiped it gently. Her beautiful eyes were still staring at the screen. Then, Lin Xian took the opportunity to hug her. Ling Longxue did not react. She went with the flow and leaned into Lin Xian's embrace. Firstly, her attention was really on the plot. Secondly, it was quite good for her to be like this. Hence, she did not pay much attention. As a result, she was taken advantage of by Lin Xian. Lin Xian revealed a lecherous smile. He did it. He did it. He was the champion. The movie ended, but these people did not leave the theater. You humans are really bad. Why does the ending of a movie have to be so tragic? Why can't two people be together despite liking each other so much? Ling Longxue said softly. Lin Xian hugged her and said softly, "Perhaps many love will lose to reality. One does not admit defeat. The other does not admit defeat. There are so many unknowns in reality. They can leave the deepest love for each other, but they can't walk to the end." Chapter 629. Ling Longxue wiped her tears and suddenly realized something. She suddenly sat up from Lin Xian's embrace. You. Ling Longxue gritted her teeth and glared at Lin Xian. When did he hug her? And when did she end up in his arms? No. This can't be true. How could she be in a man's embrace for so long without any reaction? How is this possible? Lin Xian shrugged his shoulders. You snuggled in my embrace. I didn't do it. Ling Longxue frowned. Did she take the initiative? She didn't hate it. That's a man. Ding. Feeling Ling Longxue's anger. Adonis points plus 1 million. Forget it. She didn't blame Lin Xian and didn't continue this topic. I won't watch movies anymore. Ling Longxue got up and left. Lin Xian followed her. Why? Because watching movies will make you feel bad. Lin Xian smiled. You're not in a bad mood. You're just thinking about it. That's someone else's story. Don't think too much about it. Ling Longxue nodded. I'm hungry. Let's go and have a big meal. Let's call those two along. At this point, Lin Xian was already extremely satisfied. Ling Longxue was nestled in his embrace, and he was hugging her. Was this not enough? As for the rest, they could take it slow. Ling Longxue nodded, and the two looked behind them. Ling Longyu, who had just stood up, quickly squatted down and hid. Bing. Sister Bing, quickly hide. Ling Longyu pulled Bing Lingyue's hand. Why are you hiding? Lin Xian's voice suddenly came from beside her. Ling Longyu swallowed her saliva and turned her head. Lin Xian was already standing beside her. What a coincidence, you're here too. Ling Longyue laughed foolishly before standing up awkwardly. Yeah, what a coincidence. How can it not be a coincidence that you're following me? Lin Xian said with a smile. I didn't. Ling Longyue averted her gaze. All right, let's go. You've been following me for the whole night. You must be hungry, right? You didn't eat much at the casino, did you? I'll take you to eat something delicious. Humph. Ling Longyue did not think that she would be discovered so early, and her face fell. Then, she suddenly thought of something and grabbed Lin Xian. I haven't even talked about you yet. How much have you taken advantage of me? Bastard. Your sister didn't say anything. Why are you so anxious? Lin Xian said with a smile. Bing Lingyue held Ling Longyue's hand and said to Lin Xian. The movie was pretty good. Of course. I'll bring you here when I'm free. Just the two of us. Lin Xian smiled at Bing Lingyue. Bing Lingyue was slightly taken aback. Bastard. Ling Longyue stomped on Lin Xian's foot. Lin Xian. Bing Lingyue smiled and said, anything is fine. Then, she walked away and walked towards Ling Longshui. Slap. As soon as she left, Lin Xian slapped Ling Longyue's butt. The sound was quite crisp. Ding. Prince Charming points plus 1 million. You. Ling Longyue was stunned. Then, she gritted her teeth and pointed at Lin Xian angrily. Bastard. I'm going to kill you. Little brats should be obedient. Lin Xian said and walked away. In the past, he did not dare to do such a thing. But now he did. He had reached the favorability level. And it might even have a good effect. Ling Longyue covered her butt. Her face was filled with anger and grievance, but also shyness. She stomped her little feet and chased after him. Tonight, these girls increased Lin Xian's Prince Charming points by more than 20 million. Most of it came from Ling Longyue's unhappiness. The four of them came to a hot pot restaurant to eat hot pot. The weather was a bit cold, but it was still very comfortable to eat hot pot in such weather. Lin Xian planned to bring Ling Ying and the rest to eat hot pot tomorrow. After all, he could not forget about them and Linya. But Linya was probably very satisfied now. She liked to help Lin Xian manage his company. She should be very happy. Lin Xian knew that she would be tired, but Lin Xian would definitely take note of that. There are no more private rooms? Lin Xian scratched his head. One had to know that it was almost midnight, and there were no more private rooms. Lin Xian glanced at the hall. There were so many people even in the hall. The boss said, millions of people from Tianhua City have flooded in. It's not just our hot pot restaurant. Many shops have increased their business hours and traffic. Today is also the weekend. A few movies have just ended. Even though it's midnight, there are still so many people. Basically, most shops are in this situation now. Lin Xian also expressed his understanding. As he said, the main reason was because millions of people from Tianhua City had flooded into Lin City. Then let's eat in that corner. Why did they need a private room? This was because Ling Longshui and Bing Lingyue would definitely attract a lot of attention if they were to eat here. It would also cause some unnecessary trouble. It was the simplest to eat in a private room. For example, Lin Xian, Han Chuxue, and Ling Ying also booked a private room when they ate together. The four of them then sat in the corner. After ordering, the dishes were quickly served. Brother Leopard, look over there. They just came down from upstairs and their gazes fell on the corner. It was too easy for them to attract other people's attention. When they looked over, just the side of their faces would attract the attention of men. Brother Leopard looked over, and then his eyes lit up. Although it's only the side of their faces, they look like two beautiful girls. Also, they have good temperaments. For men like them, women were sometimes more important than money. Let's go. Golden Leopard had a sloppy expression on his face. He tidied his hair and walked over with his 3 lackeys. Jean Leopard, one of the right-hand men of the Azura Palace's White Tiger Hall master, was in existence at the same level as Li Tianheng. He was in existence that even Liao Jian and An Mingho had to respect. After all, he represented the Azura Palace, and the Azura Palace had heavenly venerables. Otherwise, the Azura Palace wouldn't be so famous. Jean Leopard looked young, and even a little thin, but he was very strong. As one of the right-hand men of the White Tiger Hall master, Li Tianheng was in charge of the civil side, while he was in charge of the martial side. Many things that needed to be solved by force were handled by him. For example, when he ate in Lin City, there were basically no restaurants that would charge him. He was similar to a hooligan, but he was one of the top hooligans. Bang! Jean Leopard slammed his phone and wallet on the table in front of Lin Xian and the others. Then, he tidied his coat, and one of his followers brought a chair for him. Then he sat there. Lin Xian and the others looked at him. Jean Leopard's gaze finally landed on Ling Longshui and Bing Lingyue. Then he was stunned. Chapter 630. Previously, he could only see the side of her face from afar. He felt that she had a good temperament and looks. But now he was completely attracted to her. She's not bad. He had never seen a fairy like her before. Hey, what are you doing? Ling Longyue stared at him angrily. Golden Leopard looked at Ling Longyue. Oh my, even a little girl is so beautiful? Fuck. How can you talk to Brother Leopard like that? One of the underlings heard Ling Longyue's tone and scolded. Slap. The Golden Leopard slapped him in the face. And the little brother was a little stunned from the slap. How can you talk like that? Apologize to me. Golden Leopard said angrily. The underling quickly apologized. Under normal circumstances he would do that. But these girls were too beautiful. He didn't want to use violence. Lin Xian laughed in his heart. Sai, men are all pigs. Of course, he was not one of them. Golden Leopard then revealed a gentlemanly smile and said, I have never seen such beautiful fairies in my life. Let me introduce myself. I am Golden Leopard, one of the right-hand men of the Azura Palace's White Tiger Hall Master. You should have heard of me, right? Golden Leopard showed a proud expression, as if he had heard their exclamation. We want to eat. Please go away. Thank you. Bing Linghua said softly. Since they came to the human world, they had adapted to a peaceful life. They would not fight if they could. Golden Leopard frowned. What kind of attitude is this? She knows my identity and still has such an attitude? Yes, reserved. A woman's reserve. Then he looked at Lin Xian. This man is interesting. A man coming out to eat with 3 beautiful girls. Of course, it will be him in the future. Hey, you get lost. Golden Leopard casually pointed at Lin Xian and said in a domineering manner. Lin Xian looked like an honest man. He pointed at himself and said, Me? Nonsense, get lost. I'm here to eat with these beauties. Lin Xian then said, Oh, then go ahead and eat. It's just a matter of adding another pair of chopsticks. Besides, I'm not familiar with them. If you want to pick up girls, you don't have to care about me. But as long as I don't exist, it's fine. I'm a little hungry, I have to eat. Golden Leopard. What kind of operation was that? Shouldn't men be showing off in front of women at this time? Then, he would have a reason to make a move on him and show off. Why was he acting like a gigolo instead? You. Lin Xian, are you even a man? Hearing Lin Xian's words, Ling Longyue angrily glared at Lin Xian. He is a man. But even if he is a man, why must he protect you women? Is this what a man should do? I don't think so. Ling Longyue. Tisk, who needs your protection? Ling Longyue rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. On the other hand, Ling Longshui and Bing Lingyue only wanted to have a meal. They were uncomfortable with a stranger sitting next to them and being so arrogant. Get lost. At this time, Ling Longshui coldly said. Golden Leopard was stunned. Then the corner of his mouth curled up. Interesting. I like this kind of cold and temperamental beauty. Then, he reached out his hand to Ling Longshui, wanting to touch her cheek. Ka! Ah! A blood-curdling scream was heard, and everyone in the hall heard it, and they all looked over. There was a chopstick in Golden Leopard's hand. Blood flowed through the gaps between his fingers. Lin Xian's mouth curled up slightly. He was just going to watch the show. If he brought Lu Yufan and Yi Yi and they needed protection, then Lin Xian would definitely protect them and stand up for them. But these 3 girls, which one of them wasn't stronger than him? Which one of them needed his protection? He just had to eat his food obediently and be a gigolo. Golden Leopard was shocked. He didn't even know what was going on. Then there was a chopstick in his hand. It was an expert. He finally reacted. At least stronger than him. He was in the law realm. Those who were stronger than him were either in the high-level law realm or the domain realm. He couldn't afford to offend them for the time being. You're courting death. Seeing their boss being beaten up, his lackeys wanted to stand up for him. Stop! Golden Leopard took the initiative to stop them. Although he was very angry, he also knew that his lackeys would be beaten up if they stood up for him. I'll say it again. Get lost. Ling Longshui said coldly. He had encountered a tough nut to crack. But why would such a tough nut eat in a small hot pot restaurant? If you have the guts, leave your name. The Azura Palace won't let this go. Golden Leopard saw some people pointing at him. Even if he couldn't beat him, he wouldn't foolishly try. That would only cause him to be more seriously injured. But he still had to fight for his face. At this time, Lin Xian smiled and said, Isn't the Azura Palace a big faction? I even heard that in the past, The Azura Palace would get rid of the evil and protect the good. If something happened to humans, they would take the initiative to send experts to deal with it. Why does it seem to me that the Azura Palace is like a mafia? Is this the style of the left and right hands of the Azura Palace's hall master? He's like a hooligan. Lin Xian's words and his current tone made Golden Leopard realize that he didn't seem to be a gigolo. To be able to sit in this position, he was definitely not an ordinary person. He still had a way of judging people. He had misjudged him previously, mainly because he didn't expect it. But now something was wrong. This man was not a kind person. It's not your turn to point fingers at the Azura Palace. If you have the guts, leave your name. I'll definitely come and ask for advice in the future. Lin Xian looked at him with a teasing smile. Go ask your other partner. What's his name? Oh right, Li Tianheng, right? Go ask him and you'll know. Golden Leopard was stunned. Li Tianheng was also a ruthless person. In some aspects, he even had more authority than Golden Leopard. However, Golden Leopard knew about his broken arm and went to see him. It even made the hall master of the White Tiger Hall furious. The hall master of the White Tiger Hall even suspected that he was the one who did it. Could it be him? You're Lin Xian. Golden Leopard covered his hand and frowned. Oh, am I that famous? Lin Xian smirked. Lin Xian's name was still quite famous in Linen City. After all, the press conference made this name slightly famous. Of course, Lin Yu was more famous because she was the host. Lin Xian only showed his face and said a few words. Most people didn't know that Lin Xian was actually the boss behind the Art Pavilion Corporation. Humph. Let's go. Golden Leopard's face darkened. Then, he left with his men. This matter would definitely not end well. However, he still needed to go back and discuss the details. This matter might involve a lot of things. He's not a man. Ling Longyue had a particular opinion about Lin Xian tonight. After they left, she grumbled unhappily. Whether I'm a man or not, you'll know once you try. Lin Xian's lips curled up as he looked at her and smiled. Chapter 631. Ling Longyue glared at Lin Xian. She couldn't do anything to him anymore. Sister, look at him. He's flirting with me. Help me hit him. Ling Longyue actually acted coquettishly in front of Ling Longxue. Ling Longxue wanted to hit him too, but she couldn't. She wanted to find someone to hit him too. Okay, let's go back and rest. Ling Longxue didn't know what to say, and could only say so. Oh! Ling Longyue lowered her head, and turned her anger into appetite. She ate in big mouthfuls. I don't have anywhere to sleep tonight. Why don't I sleep at your place? Lin Xian suddenly said. The three girls. If you want to sleep on the sofa, you're welcome. If you have other thoughts. Bing Lingyue looked at Lin Xian with a smile. What a joke. How can I have other thoughts? Forget it. The three of you are heartless. You won't even give me a bed. I'll think of a way myself. Love. I've been thinking of taking you out to play every day. What to play, what to eat. In the end, you can't even let me sleep well. Sigh. Lin Xian said with a sigh. If it was someone else, they might have been fooled by Lin Xian. If you can't go home for some reason, and you want to sleep on a bed, aren't there many rooms in the hotel? Ling Longxue suddenly said. Lin Xian. Awkward. After the meal, it was almost over. They went back to their homes. All in all, it was a very successful night. Lin Xian was satisfied. His relationship with Ling Longxue had indeed improved. It was just a matter of how it developed. If Ling Longxue looked forward to Lin Xian going out with her again, then Lin Xian was even more successful. When Lin Xian returned home, it was already 1 o'clock in the evening. At this time, there were quite a lot of people on the road. After all, it was the weekend and millions of people in Tianhua City were here. However, when Lin Xian went downstairs, he saw that the lights in the house were still on. Could it be that little fairy is still awake? Lin Xian scratched his head and went in to open the door. Lin Yu was wearing her pajamas and sitting on the sofa with her laptop. Her exquisite feet made people's imagination run wild. Why aren't you asleep? Lin Xian frowned and sat beside her. Lin Yu should have been very tired during the day. It was already late at night, but she was still not asleep. Lin Xian's heart ached. If she was a little more tired, she would feel fulfilled and happy. However, she should at least rest and work time should be proportionate. Although Linya was now at the arcane body realm, she was able to withstand fatigue. She was different from before. In the past she had a mortal body. Although she still had a mortal body now, she was much stronger. However, Lin Xian was still worried. It's okay. I'm different from before. In the past I would be tired. Now that I'm at a high level, I'm not that tired. Linya tucked her hair behind her ear and looked at Lin Xian. That won't do. You still need to rest. Lin Xian took the laptop down and hugged her delicate body. Linya's body suddenly trembled. Or is it because I'm not by your side that you can't sleep? The corner of Lin Xian's mouth curled up as he asked with a smile. Linya's face flushed red. Xiao Xian, you have to be more serious. Hee, let's go to sleep. Lin Xian grinned and carried Linya's delicate body in his arms. Then he walked towards her room. Of course, nothing major happened that night. Lin Xian did not push Linya down. Of course, if he wanted to, he could do it. However, he could not bear to do it. It was not the right time. However, he could still satisfy other small matters. This was also beneficial. After all, Linya was not Lin Xian's girlfriend. If they did it a few more times, he would earn tens of millions of Adonis points. The next morning, Lin Xian yawned and sat up. Linya was no longer by his side. He walked out. Linya was in the kitchen making breakfast. Xiao Xian, you're awake. Go wash up. Breakfast will be ready after you wash up. Linya looked at Lin Xian and said softly. It's been hard on you, little fairy. Lin Xian smiled and walked over to her and kissed her on the cheek. Linya blushed and rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. Go. Hee. Then Lin Xian happily went to wash up. He had a group of beauties outside, and a little fairy at home. His life was really worth a mountain of gold and silver. At the dining table, Linya was eating breakfast while looking at something on her laptop. Xiao Xian, guess what the total turnover of our shops in Lin and City was yesterday? Linya asked Lin Xian excitedly. Lin Xian smiled. It won't be too low. Take a guess. Linya actually had a hint of coquettishness in her voice. Lin Xian rubbed his chin and said, one physique modification fluid is $1,000, and one mental cultivation fluid is $10,000. If we sell 10,000 of them, we'll get $10 million, and 10,000 mental cultivation fluid will be $100 million. These two things are definitely in high demand. It should be easy to sell 10,000 of them in Lin and City. So, yesterday's turnover should be around $200 million, right? Linya shook her head with a smile on her face. $1 billion. Lin Xian. This exceeded Lin Xian's expectations. One had to know that a few shops in Lin and City had a turnover of $1 billion. This was something that no other company could do. Then we can expand now. We can quickly open a large number of branches in the other cities. Linya nodded. Of course, I can go and give the orders today. You can let the trustworthy veterans from your previous company do this. You don't have to do it yourself. I know. How much do you think we should expand? Lin Xian thought about it. In fact, they couldn't expand too much for the time being. This was because it wouldn't be long before they ran out of stock. Although Lin Xian's Adonis points were in the tens of millions, and Ling Longyue, Linya, and the others had a total of $50 million last night, they couldn't guarantee that they would have enough every day. So, it wouldn't be good if the supply couldn't keep up. So at least for now, they had to maintain a sufficient supply. What do you think? Lin Xian asked. Linya pondered for a moment. I want to ask, can these two medicines be supplied indefinitely? Lin Xian shook his head. No. Is it the materials? Lin Xian nodded. Yes, the other materials are easy to buy, and there are a lot of them, but the chalcedony fluid can't guarantee a large supply. If there's a shortage, it will have a big impact on the company. Well, let's take it one step at a time. Anyway, the daily sales are already very exaggerated. Chapter 632. In the end, they decided to expand and set up branches in the surrounding 5 cities. This was probably the fastest company in history, expanding on the second day after it was officially sold. Lin Xian didn't have to worry about the company anymore. As long as there was enough chalcedony liquid, Lin Xian had to interact more with these girls. It wasn't for his own selfish desires. It was for the sake of Adonis points and chalcedony liquid. That's right, that's it. It was troublesome to have too many girls. Look, there were Miao Xiao Miao, Wang Xintong, Yi Yi, Lu Yufan, Ling Ying, Han Chuxue, and maybe even Xiao Runing, who could handle so many girls. Ling Yu went to work while Lin Xian gave Ling Ying a call. Little Ying, what are you doing? Lin Xian chuckled. On the other side, Ling Ying rolled his eyes. Playing. What's the matter, Boss Lin? Let's play together. What's the point of playing alone? I'll play with you. No need. I have something to do during the day. If you want to play, do it at night. Ling Ying said. At night? You seem to be hinting at something. Lin Xian raised his eyebrows. Ling Ying. Go, you pervert. Okay, this is the chance you gave me. I'm going to find other girls. Don't regret it. Go. Then Lin Xian hung up. Ding. You have sensed Ling Ying's displeasure. Adonis points plus 100,000. Lin Xuanju's Adonis points had increased by a lot. Usually, he would only gain 10 to 20,000 Adonis points. But this time, it had increased by 100,000. Ling Longyue and Ling Longshue's Adonis points had also increased by a lot compared to last night. Ling Longyue's and Ling Longshue's Adonis points had also increased a lot. After that, Lin Xian and Lin Xian went to the St. Brilliance Academy. The St. Brilliance Academy was one of the most famous academies in Linnan City, similar to the Tianhua Academy in Tianhua City. However, the St. Brilliance Academy was more impressive than the Tianhua Academy, the Tianyang Academy, and the Starry Academy in that it had more honors and a larger scale. Even though it was just an academy in a border city, the St. Brilliance Academy's reputation was well known throughout the entire Hua nation. There were a few top academies in China, which were places that all warriors dreamed of. Even Thunder Calamity Realm and Law Realm students could be found everywhere. It was enough to see how powerful those few academies were. There were many mysterious Heaven Realm and Thunder Calamity Realm students there. You wouldn't even see any warrior students below the mysterious Heaven Realm. However, those few students were from the top cities, Tiandu City, or the cities next to Tiandu City. Not just anyone could enter, but St. Brilliance Academy was in existence below such top academies. In terms of status, it was much higher than Tianhua Academy. Simply put, it was a famous university. Therefore, the quality of the students in St. Brilliance Academy was definitely much higher than Tianhua Academy. For example, in Tianhua Academy, the mysterious Heaven Realm students were the best. But now, in St. Brilliance Academy, the mysterious Heaven Realm students were as common as dogs and Thunder Calamity Realm students were everywhere. Why did St. Brilliance Academy have such a high status? Actually, it was very simple. It was because St. Brilliance Academy had a huge background, including cultivation resources. With more cultivation resources, it would naturally attract more warriors. However, what surprised Lin Xian was that Xiao Runing's status didn't seem to be low. Lin Xian could understand why she was a teacher in Tianhua Academy. However, St. Brilliance Academy was a few levels higher than Tianhua Academy. 2 days before she arrived, she had directly entered to become a teacher. Do you think it was possible that she didn't have anything? It was obviously impossible. Would such an academy lack teachers? It didn't exist. Although Lin Xian felt that this academy wasn't of much use to him now, it had to be said that the academy could sometimes provide you with many convenient channels. Now that Lin Xian had advanced to the Sky Martial Arts Competition, the next was the National Sky Martial Arts Competition. After the National Sky Martial Arts Competition, it would be the 5 Big Empires Sky Martial Arts Competition. Only then would the top 10 be able to enter the Door of God. However, before Lin Xian came, he had heard that St. Brilliance Academy had a secret territory. That's right. It was this secret territory that made St. Brilliance Academy so famous in a border city. It was also the foundation of St. Brilliance Academy's strength. This was something that Lin Xian cared about. Therefore, Lin Xian planned to become a student at St. Brilliance Academy, not for learning, but for this secret territory. Lin Xian heard that there were many types of elemental powers in this secret territory. and he needed to absorb elemental powers to unlock other attributes. Therefore, this secret territory might be a very important place for him. Coincidentally, Lu Yufan and Yi Yi were both there. Lin Xian could also go there and see if there was any opportunity to enter St. Brilliance Academy's secret territory. Lin Xian wasn't very famous in Linen City. His fame came from Tianhua City. However, the people of Linen City weren't convinced, didn't care, and didn't want to know. Lin Xian had shown his face at the press conference, but to be honest, not many people paid attention to him. Their attention was on Linya. Even if they knew about him, they didn't think it was important. This was because not many people knew that Lin Xian was actually the boss of the Art Xian group. On Linya's side, Lin Xian was temporarily relieved. Lin Xian had forgotten about Tiandu. She had been developing the Art Xian group with Linya for the past 2 days. It could be said that she had done her best. After that, Lin Xian arrived at the entrance of St. Brilliance Academy. As expected of an academy that's a few levels higher than Tianhua Academy, the scale is indeed different. Lin Xian looked at St. Brilliance Academy and secretly praised it. The difference between St. Brilliance Academy and Tianhua Academy was that there was no such thing as the academy or the Sky Martial Court. Everyone was an ancient martial art practitioner. There was no such thing as reaching the Qi Building Realm 5 stars in the academy to enter a place similar to the Sky Martial Court. There was no such thing. The prerequisite to entering St. Brilliance Academy was that you had to be an ancient martial art practitioner at the Qi Building Realm 5 stars. Lin Xian looked at the situation inside through the entrance. He planned to go in and find Xiao Runing to help him get a student status. Although it wasn't the recruitment season for a teacher, it was just like changing schools. It should be a simple matter. Lin Xian walked in. Stop! The security guard at the entrance of St. Brilliance Academy stopped Lin Xian. Students who are not from St. Brilliance Academy are not allowed to enter. Lin Xian touched the tip of his nose. Uncle, look at me. I'm so young. Don't I look like a student? You look like one, but you don't have a student badge. Lin Xian scratched his head. So all the students of St. Brilliance Academy had to have a badge. TSK. A cold laugh came from beside Lin Xian. Lin Xian turned to look at him. Chapter 633. A total of 5 people walked past Lin Xian. 3 men and 2 women, all wearing high-end branded clothes. The men were handsome and the women were pretty, but they looked at Lin Xian with disdain. I say, kid, if you're not a student of St. Brilliance Academy, don't pretend to be one. Do you think anyone can enter St. Brilliance Academy? The leader of the group said mockingly. Oh, then I'd like to ask, what kind of people can enter St. Brilliance Academy? Lin Xian looked at them with a smirk. What kind of people? Ha ha ha. They looked at each other and couldn't help but laugh. Anyway, it's not someone like you. Lin Xian laughed. This is really interesting. This St. Brilliance Academy is indeed quite famous. And I am indeed not a student of St. Brilliance Academy. But don't make yourselves sound so noble. St. Brilliance Academy only allows Qi Building Realm 5 stars to enter as a student. Why does it sound like the students of St. Brilliance Academy are not qualified to enter if they are not in the Thunder Tribulation realm? Why do you feel like you're so cool just because you're a student of St. Brilliance Academy? What do you have more than others? The few people frowned. St. Brilliance Academy's requirements were not high. Compared to Tianhua Academy, it was definitely high. But it was not difficult to enter. They just couldn't help but ridicule Lin Xian when they saw him wanting to enter. However, after hearing Lin Xian's words, their expressions turned ugly. That's right. A Qi Building Realm 5-star cultivator could enter an academy. His words made it sound like it was very, very awesome. Without the profound Heaven Realm, Lightning Tribulation Realm cultivators could not enter. If you're a student of St. Brilliance Academy, can you guarantee that you won't dare to say such words in front of me? Zhang Tianqi stared coldly at Lin Xian, then walked into St. Brilliance Academy with one of the beauties in his arms. Lin Xian's voice came from behind. Then I can guarantee that if I'm a student of St. Brilliance Academy, you won't dare to be so arrogant in front of me. Zhang Tianqi's figure paused and he sneered. Trash. We'll talk after you enter St. Brilliance Academy. I've made a mistake. I shouldn't have said so much to someone like you. You must be a refugee from Tianhua City. Then he walked away. Lin Xian shook his head secretly. Indeed, there were such people everywhere. Lin Xian couldn't be bothered to waste his breath on such people, because there were too many of them. If he were to fuss over every little thing, there would be no end to it. Lin Xian couldn't be bothered. However, he still had to enter St. Brilliance Academy. Little brother, you're from Tianhua City? The security guard uncle asked. Lin Xian nodded. Then I have to tell you, that person just now was Zhang Tianqi, the second young master of Zhang family, one of the 4 great families in Linan City. Your Tianhua City must also have a few great families, but Linan City's 4 great families are much more powerful than your Tianhua cities. Most of them have stronger backers. The Zhang family is very powerful, and that young master Zhang is also a very powerful expert. He took 10th place in the Sky Martial Arts Conference. Of course, he may not be the most powerful, but he has an older brother, who is even more powerful. So I advise you not to provoke them. Lin Xian nodded. Thank you, uncle. I'm just casually reminding you. Then Lin Xian asked. Oh right, uncle, it's not the start of school yet. How can I enter St. Brilliance Academy? The security guard uncle was stunned and asked. You already have a conflict with young Master Zhang. Are you sure you want to enter St. Brilliance Academy? Lin Xian smiled and nodded. All right, your uncle won't stop you. It's actually quite difficult to enter St. Brilliance Academy right now, because St. Brilliance Academy was full a while ago, plus many Tianhua City martial artists entered. There are even fewer spots. If you want to enter St. Brilliance Academy now, there's only one way. If it's not the start of school, you have to have someone above you. Is that so? Lin Xian rubbed his chin. He originally didn't want to trouble Xiao Runing, but now he could only trouble her. Then Lin Xian took out his phone and dialed a number. Hello, Xiao Ningning. Xiao Ruin. F***ck. This Lin Xian was becoming more and more presumptuous with the way he addressed her. I say, Big Boss Lin, why are you looking for me when you don't care about your company? Lin Xian smiled. I'm at the entrance of St. Brilliance Academy. I want to continue learning from my dear Ning Ning. So can you pick me up and help me register as a student? Xiao Runing. Are you serious? Lin Xian nodded his head. Of course. All right, 5 minutes. Then Xiao Runing hung up the phone. The security guard uncle revealed a shocked expression. From the meaning of the call, it seemed like there really was someone. Sure enough, he couldn't underestimate anyone. Young man, you know someone from St. Brilliance Academy? Lin Xian smiled and nodded. And it shouldn't be a problem to know a teacher, right? That's for sure. The authority of a teacher in St. Brilliance Academy is much greater than that of many other academies. Especially our St. Brilliance Academy's new female teacher with the surname Xiao. Her authority is extraordinarily great. Lin Xian, Miss Xiao? Could it be Xiao Ruin? Why? Could it be that the dean is her father? That's not it. She's just a very ordinary teacher. But because she's really too beautiful, there are many masters, vice deans, and teachers in St. Brilliance Academy who admire her. Don't you think that after admiring her, all the men will try to please her? Then wouldn't the power of these teachers and deans be her power? Lin Xian smiled. Uncle, what you said makes a lot of sense. The security guard uncle was a talkative person. He kept chatting with Lin Xian, and Lin Xian conveniently learned a lot about St. Brilliance Academy from him. St. Brilliance Academy had a total of more than 20,000 students, which meant that 20,000 martial arts practitioners. Like Tianhua Academy, it was divided into beginner, intermediate, and advanced classes. The difference was that Tianhua Academy's Sky Martial Court had less than 1,000 people. But here there were 20,000. There were more than 100 beginner classes, a few dozen intermediate classes, and 20 to 30 advanced classes. The beginner classes consisted of the Qi building realm and the spirit congealing realm. The intermediate classes consisted of the arcane body realm and a small number of the arcane heaven realm. The advanced classes consisted of the arcane heaven realm. However, above the advanced classes, there was a backyard, which was similar to the Sky Martial Court in Tianhua Academy. It was filled with martial arts practitioners in the Thunder Calamity realm. That was where the real resources were. It was indeed very exaggerated. Then may I know how to enter the St. Brilliance Academy's secret territory? Lin Xian asked. About that, the beginner, intermediate, and advanced classes will hold a martial arts competition. The top 10 of each class will have a chance to enter the secret territory for a day. The martial arts practitioners in the backyard will also be able to enter. Let me recommend a new game. I took over The Happy Wind Man, a new book by the old author. It's quality guaranteed. It's very interesting. You can go and take a look. Chapter 634. The top 10 of the 3 classes could all enter the secret territory. It was not difficult. Lin Xian sighed. However, the uncle's next sentence stunned Lin Xian. It's a pity, but it's useless. Lin Xian looked puzzled. Uncle, why do you say that? Lin Xian came to St. Brilliance Academy because he heard about the secret territory. Without it, why would he come to St. Brilliance Academy? Because there's only one day. You have to come back in one day. However, one day is not enough to get anything in the secret territory unless you're extremely lucky. If you want to stay in the secret territory for a longer time, you have to enter the Academy's backyard. However, it seems that after entering the Academy's backyard, you have to do something to be able to stay in the secret territory for a longer time and get more things. I've only heard about this. I don't know if it's true or not. Don't worry about it. Lin Xian nodded. Thank you, uncle. At this time, Xiao Runing hurriedly walked out of the St. Brilliance Academy. It could be seen that there were many students following behind Xiao Runing. Of course, they were all admirers of Xiao Runing. After all, she was indeed very beautiful. When she was in the Tianhua Academy, she already had a great reputation. All the major academies knew her, and she was known as the #1 female teacher. Of course, when she came to the St. Brilliance Academy, it was impossible to cover up her glory. Of course, there were some things between students and teachers. However, in a place like Sky Blue Star, relationships between teachers and students were not a big deal. Hence, so many students followed her openly. Of course, they had to keep a certain distance from her. There were even some male teachers who acted as if they were passing by just to follow behind her. It had to be said that they were very good. Lin Xian was a little excited when he thought about how he had kissed Xiao Ningning before. The security uncle was also stunned when he saw Xiao Runing walking over. Let's go. Follow me in. Xiao Runing walked in front of Lin Xian and said softly. The security uncle's jaw dropped. Was this the beautiful teacher that this brat knew? Well, thank you, uncle. I'll chat with you more often in the future. Lin Xian waved his hand and followed Xiao Runing inside. At this moment, everyone was discussing animatedly. Who is this? He actually got Miss Xiao to personally receive him. He doesn't have a student badge on his chest, which proves that he isn't from our St. Brilliance Academy. Who is he? He seems to be the young man who spoke at the press conference before. He's from the Art Xian group. Yes, that's him. I think his name is Lin Xian or something. He seems to be a refugee from Tianhua City. But how is he related to the Xian group? A lot of people in Linnan City were now looking down on the people of Tianhua City. When Tianhua City was still around, they wouldn't have such an opinion. But now that Tianhua City was gone, the citizens of Tianhua City would look down on them and think that they were just refugees. What was so good about refugees? If things didn't go well, Linnan City would be like this sooner or later. They would become refugees sooner or later. But many people were like this, so there was nothing they could do. Xiao Runing wasn't wearing professional attire. She was wearing simple casual clothes. The weather was cold, so she was wearing very tight clothes. Otherwise, this group of male animals wouldn't be able to take their eyes off her. Xiao Ningning, you're still so popular. Lin Xian grinned at Xiao Runing. Xiao Ruin rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. Call me Miss Xiao. So Xiao Ningning is your type? Then you can call me boss, Xiao Runing. You're not serious. Then they went to Xiao Runing's office. This scene made those people full of speculations. Going to Miss Xiao's office alone? There didn't seem to be any male students who were brought in alone by her. Now, many people were curious. Who exactly was Lin Xian to Xiao Runing? Boyfriend? This was basically all denied, but they were still curious. Why did you think of coming here to be a student? According to your level, it's actually not necessary. If you want, you can consider the top schools in Tiandu City. These schools won't be able to improve you much. Xiao Runing asked while pouring water for Lin Xian. Lin Xian crossed his legs on the sofa in her office. I heard that St. Brilliant School has a secret realm. I want to take a look. Xiao Runing put the water in front of Lin Xian, and then sat on the single sofa beside him. Secret realms. I haven't been there before, but I have a general understanding of it. There should be some kind of heaven and earth spirit treasure inside. Moreover, it must be a very strong heaven and earth spirit treasure to give birth to such a secret realm. There are many attribute powers inside. If one is lucky, it can increase the attribute purity of a warrior. It can be considered a rare treasure. Don't you have attribute increasing potions? Do you still need to go there? Xiao Runing asked in confusion. You don't understand. Xiao Runing couldn't help but laugh. Young Master Lin has become a big boss. Now it's me who doesn't understand. Lin Xian glanced at Xiao Runing and smiled. What? My dear Xiao Ningning, do you want a kiss? Xiao Runing. Then Lin Xian smiled evilly and walked over while rubbing his hands. I'm telling you, don't mess around. Xiao Runing looked at Lin Xian with some vigilance. Although they had kissed more than once, and they had even done other intimate things besides kissing. But Lin Xian then moved to Xiao Runing's side. The single sofa was quite big. Lin Xian sat down, and then hugged Xiao Runing's delicate body. Xiao Runing frowned slightly. Lin Xian, I'm warning you, don't mess around. She didn't know why she felt this way. She just didn't hate Lin Xian touching her. She even looked forward to it. What was going on? Lin Xian's lips curled slightly. Although he couldn't see Xiao Runing's favorability, she didn't feel anything after being kissed for a few minutes. So her favorability shouldn't be bad. I won't mess around. Lin Xian hugged her just like that. Xiao Runing rolled her eyes at him and sighed helplessly. Hee. Lin Xian smiled evilly. This chick was quite cold to outsiders. But she was gentle to Lin Xian. The main reason was probably because Lin Xian had saved her before. No, there was another reason. And that was because they had been intimate before. As the only guy who had been intimate with Xiao Ruan, she definitely treated Lin Xian differently. Just like now, Lin Xian hugged her. She didn't even feel anything. It was much better than kissing. If Lin Xian raped her now, he might even succeed. Xiao Ningning, your figure is really good. Lin Xian smiled. Xiao Runing rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. I'm wearing so much, and you can tell? Hurry up and let go, or I'll slap you. Chapter 635. Lin Xian knew when to stop, so he let go of her hand. The moment he let go and stood up, someone knocked on Xiao Runing's office door and pushed it open. Miss Xiao didn't disturb you, did I? A handsome middle-aged man walked in with a smile on his oily face. Then, his gaze landed on Lin Xian. After seeing Lin Xian's appearance and approximate age, he wasn't worried about anything. Lin Xian was just a student. Xiao Runing stood up. Teacher Jean, is there anything I can help you with? Jean Hui smiled. It's nothing big. Tonight, there's a teacher gathering at St. Brilliant's Academy. All the teachers and outstanding students will be attending. It's quite an important gathering. Let Miss Xiao know. It starts at 10 p.m., so it might be a little late. Xiao Runing nodded. Thank you for the reminder, Teacher Jean. Okay, then I'll take my leave. Then, he took one last look at Lin Xian and left. Another one of your admirers? Lin Xian stood up, walked to the door and locked it. Xiao Runing. Why did he lock it? Xiao Runing pretended to be calm and said, Yes, but what does it have to do with you? Lin Xian smirked and turned to Xiao Runing. Xiao Runing. Of course it has to do with me. You're my girlfriend. How can I just watch someone else pursue you? Xiao Runing took a sip of tea and said calmly, Get lost. Lin Xian. Be careful, or I'll tell your sister. Lin Xian smiled. If you tell little fairy, she'll be overjoyed. Trust me, she might even help me pursue you. All right. You should go and talk to Fan Fan, E and the others. You can also talk to Ling Ying and Chu Xue. After all, your relationship with them is pretty good. I came here specifically to look for you. Lin Xian smiled. Forget it. Fan, Ling Ying and Chu Xue are all at St. Brilliance Academy. Oh right, Xintong is there too. I think you're here to flirt with them. Why are you looking for me? Xiao Runing rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. There was a hint of jealousy in her voice. Ah, little Ying, and the others are at St. Brilliance Academy too? Xiao Runing looked at Lin Xian. Didn't they tell you? They're backups. Lin Xian. Of course, Lin Xian knew that Xiao Runing was just joking. She didn't know that the two girls were his girlfriends, including Lu Yufan. She thought that Lin Xian was single. Of course Lin Ye thought so too. The main thing was that they kept it a secret too well. But why did the two girls come to St. Brilliance Academy? Lin Xian was very curious. Lin Xian knew that Wang Xintong was here. Although she could learn more in the Sacred Palace, she could also learn a lot here. In her free time, she could continue to learn from Qin Feng. Why did they come to St. Brilliance Academy? The two of them can't stay idle. If you let them play every day, they won't be used to it. The beast domain is more dangerous now, so they won't go. So they asked me to come to St. Brilliance Academy. But it seems that part of the reason is the St. Brilliance Academy's secret realm. After all, they are very strong. Naturally, they won't give up any opportunity to strengthen themselves. Lin Xian nodded. This was very suitable for them. When did they come? It was only yesterday. Lin Xian wanted to punish them. They didn't even tell him that they came to St. Brilliance Academy. Then I'll leave my side to you, Xiao Ningning. That's not a problem. But new students have to start from the beginner class. No matter what your level is, you can only be promoted after the class promotion exam every 3 months. But it doesn't matter to you, right? Lin Xian nodded. Then when will the martial arts competition begin? Half a month later. Your luck is not bad. You don't have to wait too long. Lin Xian nodded. Anyway, I don't care about anything else. I just want to follow you. Lin Xian grinned. But I don't want you. Xiao Runing rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. Say that again. If you say it again, I'll kiss you. Xiao Runing. Don't say it again. She didn't dare to say it again. If the two of them didn't have intimate contact before, then she wouldn't be afraid. But if they had intimate contact, she wouldn't even blame Lin Xian. This was the most exaggerated. Seeing Xiao Runing actually admit defeat, the corners of Lin Xian's mouth curled up. This was good news. Then you can go back first. If you want, come to the beginner class 10 before 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. You're leading the beginner class? Lin Xian asked. Xiao Runing nodded. Yes, the children in the beginner class are easier to interact with. Moreover, they need more training. Then kiss me. Kiss me and I'll leave. Then Lin Xian shamelessly moved closer. Scram. Xiao Runing rolled her eyes at Lin Xian and scolded. No, I want a kiss. Lin Xian's face was already close to Xiao Runing's mouth. Xiao Runing really wanted to slap this bastard's face. I'm going to class. She couldn't be bothered with Lin Xian. Then she stood up. The moment she stood up, Lin Xian reached out and grabbed her hand. Then he pulled her into his arms and kissed her. Oh. Xiao Runing's beautiful eyes widened. She was completely stunned. Ding, forceful little sister. Prince Charming points plus 1 million. Ding, dishonest hands. Prince Charming points plus 1 million. At first she tried her best to resist. But for some reason, she used her body's instinct to resist. However, she didn't release her aura. But her body's instinct was that of a girl. How could she resist Lin Xian? Then she was raped for more than 5 minutes before Zhong Lin Xian let her go. Xiao Runing's face was completely red. You. Xiao Runing angrily pointed at Lin Xian. Lin Xian licked his lips. Not bad, you didn't resist. You deserve praise. Scram. Xiao Runing angrily scolded. Hee, I'm leaving. Then Lin Xian quickly slipped away. After seeing Lin Xian leave, Xiao Runing patted her face with both hands. God, what was wrong with her? Since when could a man take advantage of her like this? Could it be that she also fell in love with Lin Xian? It can't be, right? But if she didn't like him, why would she allow a guy to take advantage of her again and again? To be honest, if it was someone else, he would already be dead. Xiao Runing was really upset. She had never thought of herself as such a woman, but... Ah! So annoying. This damned Lin Xian. Not only did he kiss her, but his hands were also dishonest. No, I can't do this anymore. I must fight back. Then she collected her emotions and walked out. Lin Xian was feeling very happy in his heart. This Xiao Runing was basically half taken care of. He was just waiting for the right moment to trigger the confession mission. Although he was at St. Brilliant Academy, Lin Xian didn't look for Lu Yufan, Han Chuxue, and the others. He would think about it tomorrow. Then he walked towards the Bounty Hunter Guild. Chapter 636. The Miao family and the Bounty Hunter Guild should be quite close. In Tianhua City, Miao Xiaomiao and the others stayed in the Bounty Hunter Guild. Of course, they stayed in the Bounty Hunter Guild's room. However, Miao Xiaomiao told Lin Xian that other people had to pay to rent the room. They didn't have to pay because her grandfather knew the Bounty Hunter Guild's president. But in Linan City, they still stayed in the Bounty Hunter Guild, and the president wasn't the one in Tianhua City. Therefore, Miao Xiaomiao's grandfather must not only be related to the president in Tianhua City. At this moment, in the Gale mercenary group, Miao Xiaomiao was holding her chin with both hands, staring at the computer screen in a daze. She would sigh and look at her phone, then put it down silently. They just changed to a new city. Their overall lifestyle didn't change much. It was similar to Tianhua City. What's wrong? Why are you sighing? Wang Qianqian walked over with a smile and sat beside Miao Xiaomiao with a cup of coffee. No, I'm not sighing. Miao Xiaomiao quickly quibbled. This was it sunder a little lowly. Wang Qianqian smiled. Then I'll have to ask Grandpa Miao if that's considered sighing. No, it's not. Miao Xiaomiao pouted. Your phone screen is chatting with Lin Xian. When Wang Qianqian saw this, Miao Xiaomiao quickly turned off the phone screen. I accidentally clicked on it. How could Wang Qianqian not know what Miao Xiaomiao was thinking? She was deliberately teasing her. Wang Qianqian took a sip of coffee and smiled at Miao Xiaomiao. What's wrong? Are you thinking of Lin Xian? Who would think of that bastard? You're so bad. I can't wait to not see him. Miao Xiaomiao said proudly. Wang Qianqian smiled. There's only the two of us here. Why are you hiding it from Sister Qianqian? No. Miao Xiaomiao's face was a little red. Do you like Lin Xian? Wang Qianqian asked with a smile. Miao Xiaomiao lowered her head. Not only did he like her, she was already his little girlfriend. But this was the reason why Miao Xiaomiao was frustrated. Lin Xian hadn't contacted her for a few days. They only chatted occasionally on the phone. Although that big bad guy Lin Xian would bully her, he would never really take advantage of her. This was the first time Miao Xiaomiao really wanted to grow up. She felt that it must be because she was too young. If only she could be as feminine as Sister Ling Ying and the others. But she was really thinking too much. This was the cutest thing about her. He did not take advantage of her. Of course, it was true that she was a little young. For someone who was not a Lilicon, she was not very attractive. But was Lin Xian not a Lilicon? A little. Anyway, he liked her a lot. Moreover, Miao Xiaomiao was really exquisite and beautiful. The only reason he didn't take advantage of her was because he felt embarrassed. She was still so young. If he were to take advantage of her, oh my God, was he still human? But girls would think too much. It couldn't be helped. Of course, Wang Qianqian had long noticed Miao Xiaomiao's special feelings for Lin Xian. She just didn't know about their relationship. But she didn't think much of it. If she liked him, she liked him. Besides, Lin Xian was really outstanding. She admitted that. Sister Qianqian, do you think that all boys like girls of your age? Miao Xiaomiao looked up at Wang Qianqian and asked softly. Of course not. Every boy has their own type and age. It varies from person to person. But most of them definitely like more feminine girls. Wang Qianqian didn't know what to say. But Lin Xian definitely likes someone like you. At least he likes you. Why? Miao Xiaomiao asked curiously. Because Lin Xian comes to play with you every day. He talks to you and teases you. This is how boys like girls. But he hasn't looked for me for a few days. Miao Xiaomiao looked depressed. See, isn't he here now? Wang Qianqian said. Sister Qianqian, don't lie to me. There's no sound of the door opening. Miao Xiaomiao didn't even turn around. Lin Xian quietly walked behind Miao Xiaomiao and made a shu gesture to Wang Qianqian. Then, Lin Xian interrupted Miao Xiaomiao from behind. Miao Xiaomiao was so scared that her whole body trembled. Then she angrily turned around and looked at Lin Xian. Bastard! Do you want to die? Ha ha ha! Lin Xian was laughing so hard that he was convulsing. Miao Xiaomiao was really scared. But now, besides complaining, seeing Lin Xian laughing made Miao Xiaomiao unhappy. In fact, she was more happy because he was here. Lin Xian was outside when the system notified him of Miao Xiaomiao's emotions. Then he deliberately used Shadow Blink to teleport behind her. Of course, it was effective. Wang Qianqian smiled helplessly. Don't scare Xiaomiao. She might throw a fireball at you subconsciously. Then she got up to prepare coffee for Lin Xian. What are you doing here? Although he was very happy in his heart, this girl was just too arrogant. Even when Lin Xian was here, she still had that arrogant look. I heard that someone missed me, so I came. TCH, you're thinking too much. I don't miss you. Oh, is that so? Then you're thinking too much. I heard that Sister Qianqian missed me. Is that right, Sister Qianqian? Lin Xian asked with a smile. Wang Qianqian nodded and smiled. Yes, I missed you. Miao Xiaomiao. Get lost. Bastard. Miao Xiaomiao angrily glared at Lin Xian and sat there. Lin Xian sat beside her. Why don't you go out and play? We can't go to the beast territory. Won't it be boring here? Where are we going to play? No one wants to play with me. I have to look after the Wind mercenary group. Although Miao Xiaomiao was very pretty, she didn't have many friends. It wasn't that she wasn't popular, but she didn't go to places like school. She didn't have many channels to make friends, so she didn't have many friends. However, she had a good relationship with Ling Longyue. They even went out to play a few days ago. Then I'll take you out to play. Lin Xian smiled. Okay. I don't want to. Miao Xiaomiao was all smiles when she heard this. She was about to say okay. But then her Tsundere self became Tsundere again. Let's go change. We can't go out in pajamas. I'll call Ling Longyue out later and bring you guys out to play. Okay. Then Miao Xiaomiao ran into the room. It was obvious that she was happy. Wang Qianqian brought the coffee over. Why do you have to bring other girls out to play? Although they're friends, it doesn't seem appropriate. Wang Qianqian teased. Chapter 637. Lin Xian understood what Wang Qianqian meant. It was like taking your girlfriend out to play. Was it really okay to bring your girlfriend's best friend? Even if the girl was your girlfriend's best friend, in most cases, the girlfriend didn't like her boyfriend to have too much contact with her best friend. Moreover, the girlfriend liked to be alone with her boyfriend. Only when she felt insecure would she ask her best friend to come along. Of course, Lin Xian didn't think that Wang Qianqian knew that Miao Xiaomiao was his girlfriend. Miao Xiaomiao would definitely not tell her family. Why? Because she was embarrassed. How could she tell her family that she had a boyfriend at her age? Moreover, she was a proud girl. She was even more embarrassed to say it. It's okay. We're just going out to play. Lin Xian smiled ambiguously. Really? Are you not interested in Xiaomiao? Wang Qianqian smiled and asked. Ahem. This question made Lin Xian blush. If he said that he was interested, she was still so young. If he said that he was a pervert, wouldn't it be too fake? He could tell something from her expression. She's okay, but she's still young. She's not even 15 years old. Lin Xian scratched his head and said awkwardly. Actually, let alone 15 years old. I don't feel anything even if I'm 14 years old. In many schools now, 14-year-old junior high school students are very mature. Because little Miao left school early to participate in the battle, she can be considered to have matured very early. However, she really doesn't know anything about the ways of the world. In ancient times, people got married and had children at the age of 14, right? Wang Qianqian was hinting at something. Ahem, Sister Qianqian. Why are you in such a hurry to sell Xiaomiao to me? Lin Xian asked awkwardly. Wang Qianqian smiled and said, You see, Xiaomiao hasn't liked a guy for so many years. She's met a lot of guys. You're the first one she likes, so I think it's very difficult. It'll be a pity if you lose her. How do you know that Xiao Miao likes me? Wang Qianqian said. I've been with her every day. I know her better than Grandpa Miao. Besides, I'm also a girl. Girls know girls best. Lin Xian nodded awkwardly. So if you think little Miao is not bad, you can try to cultivate your relationship. I think Grandpa Miao is very satisfied with you. Wang Qianqian giggled as she spoke. It seemed like she really wanted to bring Lin Xian and Miao Xiao Miao together. Got it. Thank you, Sister Qianqian. It's okay. Good luck. At this time, Miao Xiao Miao had changed her clothes and walked over. Although she looked as if she didn't care, she still looked a little shy. I'm ready. Let's go. Miao Xiao Miao said playfully. Sister Qianqian, are you going out to play? Lin Xian asked. Wang Qianqian smiled. Of course I'm not going. I still have to look after the Wind mercenary group. You guys go ahead. Remember to have fun. Okay. Then, Lin Xian and Miao Xiao Miao walked out. Miao Xiao Miao seemed much more relaxed than when she was inside. After all, Wang Qianqian was looking after her, so she couldn't let loose. Where are we going to play? Miao Xiao Miao jumped up and down and asked. Let's go find Ling Longyue first. Should we find her? Lin Xian asked with a smile. Miao Xiao Miao didn't really care. She also wanted to be alone with Lin Xian, but she also wanted to play with Ling Longyue. Find her. Miao Xiao Miao replied. Finding Ling Longyue couldn't be easier. Lin Xian made a call. Hey, come out and eat something good? On the other side, Ling Longyue jumped up from the sofa. Eat. If all girls were foodies, then this girl was a real foodie. Come find me at Rose Paradise. Everyone knew where Rose Paradise was, and it could be considered as their gathering place. Very soon. Do you want to bring Sister and Sister Bing? No need. Xiao Miao is here. You two can play. Okay. Right away. Then Ling Longyue hung up. 10 minutes later, Lin Xian and Miao Xiao Miao arrived at Rose Paradise and saw Ling Longyue sitting at the entrance. Bastard Lin Xian, I waited for you for 10 minutes. Can't you call me when you're here? Ling Longyue glared at Lin Xian with disdain. Lin Xian. Logically speaking, the place where they lived should be much further away from Rose Heaven than where she had arrived. How could she have arrived earlier than her? Moreover, it was only 10 minutes since she hung up. She just hung up and she was already here? Oh right, she had the space attribute. Why was this girl so impatient? Who told you to use space to come here? Humph. Ling Longyue pouted and held hands with Miao Xiao Miao. The two girls seemed to have a very good relationship. I don't care. You have to bring me and Xiao Miao to eat a lot of good food. Let's eat the most expensive food. Lin Xian smiled. Okay. Let's eat the most expensive food. Anyway, this was Rose Paradise. Why would he need to spend money? Although it was a couple hotel, this was a 5-star hotel. There would definitely be a lot of expensive things. The three of them walked in. The lobby manager quickly walked over. He knew Lin Xian. Mr. Lin, 3 people? The lobby manager was really impressed by Lin Xian. He had been here a few times. Anyway, he had seen many beautiful girls. He was really amazing. Moreover, he knew their boss Morong. This was the most amazing thing. Find a room. The lobby manager wiped the sweat off his forehead and said. Mr. Lin, due to the large influx of citizens from Tianhua City, the number of citizens has increased greatly after everything has been settled down. Therefore, Rose Paradise has been full these days, especially the private rooms. Right now, the main hall is also full. However, there are a few people in the main hall who are about to leave, so he didn't know the relationship between Lin Xian and Morong Qing. Therefore, he wouldn't let Lin Xian go to the top floor that belonged to Morong Qing. Lin Xian didn't care. If there wasn't a room, then the main hall was fine. Then let's go over there. Please tidy up. Okay, wait a moment. It just so happened that a couple had finished eating, so Lin Xian and the other two sat down. Mr. Lin, what would you like to eat? Give us the most expensive and most delicious food. Also, give us the most expensive drinks. The lobby manager. No, a boy bringing 2 little girls here to eat. How could they eat so well? Are you sure? Lin Xian nodded. Of course. Serve the dishes. Okay, wait a moment. Hearing that Lin Xian ordered the most expensive food, Ling Longyue was satisfied. Chapter 638. The dishes were served rather quickly. After all, they were the most expensive dishes. Of course, there would be a special chef to help prepare them. The two girls ate with relish. Lin Xian was more interested in watching them eat. At this moment, two people, a man and a woman, arrived. When the lobby manager saw them, he hurried over to greet them. They seemed to be of high status. Young Master Zhang, there are still seats over there. There are no private rooms for now. Only the hall is left. The lobby manager said respectfully. Zhang Tianqi looked over and happened to be facing Lin Xian. When he saw Lin Xian, he showed a disdainful expression. Brother Zhang, isn't that the person who wanted to enter St. Brilliant's Academy? A beautiful lady smiled and said when she saw Lin Xian. Let's go. Let's sit in the hall. Then, Zhang Tianqi led her over. They happened to be sitting next to each other. This could be considered fate. Isn't this the person who wanted to enter St. Brilliant's Academy and was chased out? Zhang Tianqi walked over and said in a mocking tone. Lin Xian raised his head and looked over. Yo, it's fate. Lin Xian said when he saw Zhang Tianqi. Who's fated with you? Don't you know who you are? Who is young Master Zhang? The beautiful girl sneered. Ling Longyue and Miao Xiao Miao turned to look at them. Zhang Tianqi and the girl also saw their faces clearly. He subconsciously sucked in a breath of cold air. So beautiful? Although they were young, they were too exquisite and beautiful. In 2 years, these two girls would definitely be top beauties. How could this brat have such beauties around him? The girl beside Zhang Tianqi was his current girlfriend. She was also one of the campus beauties of St. Brilliant's Academy. She was indeed pretty, but compared to a real beauty, there was a gap. Lin Xian sneered. Who do you think I am? Who is young Master Zhang? Interesting. But no matter who you are, aren't you eating in the hall? There aren't any private rooms either. Zhang Tianqi snorted. That's because this young master didn't force it. Otherwise, what's so difficult about a small private room? Am I right? Zhang Tianqi asked the lobby manager. The lobby manager felt uncomfortable. One was the second young master of the Zhang family, and the other was his boss's friend. How the hell was he supposed to answer this? He wiped the cold sweat off his forehead and stood there with a resentful expression, not daring to answer. Young Master Zhang, please order. The lobby manager said awkwardly. Give me all the most expensive ones, and a bottle of 1982 Lafite. All right. Please wait a moment. Then the lobby manager hurriedly ran away. I say, kid, if you want to go to St. Brilliant's Academy, you can beg me. I know quite a few people. It's just entering St. Brilliant's Academy. It's such a simple matter. I just need to say the word and it'll be done. Zhang Tianqi sat down, and his voice drifted over. I'm sorry, but there's no need. You don't have as much money as me. Your girlfriend isn't as pretty as mine. And I reckon you aren't as strong as me either. Moreover, I've already entered St. Brilliant's Academy, so I really don't need your help. Of course, if you want to curry favor with me and insist on helping me, I don't mind. Lin Xian mocked. Bang! When Jiang Ling heard Lin Xian's words, she angrily slammed the table. What did you say? Do you have the guts to say it again? She pointed at Lin Xian and said angrily. He could say anything else, but he said that his girlfriend wasn't as pretty as his girlfriend in front of Zhang Tianqi. This was something that no girl could tolerate. Lin Xian laughed. So what if I say it again? Zhang Tianqi patted Jiang Ling's shoulder and said, Forget it. Don't lower yourself to the same level as him. He thinks that he has some confidence just because he's here for a meal. In fact, he's just a scum from the bottom, a refugee from Tianhua City. According to common sense, with Zhang Tianqi's character, he would probably hit Lin Xian. However, he suddenly saw two people and didn't want to break his gentlemanly demeanor in front of them. Lin Xian hurriedly lowered his head when he saw the two people who had arrived, as if he had a guilty conscience. Damn, why did Ling Ying and Han Chushue come to a couple's hotel for a meal? Ling Ying glanced and said, There are seats in the corner. Then the two went to the other corner, which was the furthest away from them. They couldn't see each other at all. Both Lin Xian and Zhang Tianqi breathed a sigh of relief. Although Lin Xian brought Ling Longyue and Miao Xiaomiao, and they knew each other, what if he brought them out for a meal? Why didn't he bring them along? Then Lin Xian would be done for. Zhang Tianqi had never seen such a beautiful girl. Although Jiang Ling was also a school beauty, they were also school beauties. Moreover, they were on a different level. He even felt that Jiang Ling couldn't be compared to them. If he could get a girl like that, he really didn't need to look for other girls outside. It was enough. The two of them had only been in St. Brilliant Academy for a day, but they were already famous in St. Brilliant Academy, just based on their looks. Miao Xiaomiao and Ling Longyue had their backs to the door, so they didn't see the two of them. On the other side, Zhang Tianqi also quieted down. He was even thinking about how to pursue them. As for Jiang Ling, she was just a toy for him, before he could pursue any of them. It was really just for fun. After about an hour, Lin Xian and Ling Longyue finished eating and stood up to pay the bill. Seeing Lin Xian and Ling Longyue leaving, Zhang Tianqi snorted and said, "Humph, you'd better be respectful when you see me in the future. You're lucky today," Zhang Tianqi said harshly. Lin Xian smiled and said, "I'll say the same to you." After that, he walked away with the two of them. "Brother Zhang, why didn't you do anything to him? He's so arrogant and doesn't take us seriously at all," Jiang Ling said coquettishly. Zhang Tianqi said, "There are too many eyes. Don't worry. Since we live in the same city and can meet here, then we'll meet again. The next time I see him, I'll make him pay the price." "Well, Brother Zhang, you must make a decision for me." "Don't worry, I will." Zhang Tianqi then looked at Ling Ying and Han Chuxue. Although he couldn't see them clearly, he really wanted to see them. He really regretted bringing Jiang Ling along. If he didn't bring her, he could have gone over and chatted with them. Lin Xian played with the two girls until 10 o'clock at night. After sending them back one by one, he returned home. Tomorrow was his new day at the academy. He needed to see if the secret realm could improve him as soon as possible. When he opened the door, Lingya was already back. She was still sitting on the sofa and playing on the computer, but she wasn't playing games. Instead, she was looking at data. Chapter 639. Little Fairy, are you tired? Lin Xian leaned over and hugged her delicate body. Lingya was used to Lin Xian's actions. "It's okay. I don't have to do anything. I actually feel more relaxed than before." Lingya drank a cup of tea and said softly, "It wasn't that she was relaxed. It was just that her realm was higher, so she wouldn't get tired so easily. Anyway, don't tire yourself out. Go to sleep." "No, it's still early. I don't want to sleep." Lin Xian then threw her laptop on the sofa and picked her up. "Hee, it's not up to you to sleep or not. But I'm going to sleep. You have to accompany me." Then Lin Xian carried her back to the room. Now that she wasn't living with Ling Ying, Lin Xian could do whatever he wanted. There were benefits to living together, and there were also benefits to not living together. Tonight, he received tens of millions of Adonis points from Linya. The main thing was that Linya wasn't his girlfriend, so there were too many ways to earn Adonis points. Kissing, pinching, and so on. Which of them wasn't worth millions of Adonis points? Then in one night, Lin Xian found a business opportunity. As long as Linya wasn't Lin Xian's girlfriend now, as long as they slept together, he would earn tens of millions of Adonis points in one night. This way, he wouldn't be short of a large amount of chalcedony liquid. How wonderful! The next morning, Linya woke up much earlier than Lin Xian. When Lin Xian woke up, breakfast was already ready. Linya had already washed up. "Are you going to St. Brilliant's Academy today?" Linya asked. "Yes, I'm going to St. Brilliant's Academy. I probably won't be able to go to the Beast Domain for the next few weeks. You're in the Yixian group, and I can't eat, drink, and play every day. So, I'm going to St. Brilliant's Academy to study." Linya nodded. An hour later, Lin Xian arrived at the gate of St. Brilliant's Academy. It was still school hours, but most of the students had already entered. If you wanted to enter St. Brilliant's Academy, you had to scan the student badge on your chest. In other words, if you didn't wear your badge, Even if you were a student of St. Brilliant's Academy, you wouldn't be able to enter. It was equivalent to a student ID. Young man. When the security guard saw Lin Xian, he waved at Lin Xian, and Lin Xian walked over. Miss Xiao gave this to me early in the morning. It's your student badge. Thank you, uncle. Lin Xian wore the badge on his chest and walked in. St. Brilliant's Academy was much bigger than Tianhua Academy. Lin Xian, this bastard. What was he thinking when he came to St. Brilliant's Academy? He was actually thinking that such a big academy, and it was quite famous, there should be some top beauties that could trigger a mission for him. The last beauty to trigger a mission was Morong Qing, and it had been a while. Maybe this was what men were like. If you triggered a mission, you would feel tired and annoyed. If you didn't trigger a mission, you would look forward to other beauties. Beginner Class 10. Lin Xian wandered around St. Brilliant's Academy, looking for the Beginner Class 10 that Xiao Runing had told him about. He wandered around for 20 minutes. It was already 10 minutes past the 8 o'clock that Xiao Runing had told him. Lin Xian finally found the Beginner Class 10. After all, it was really big, and there were more than 200 beginner classes. The beginner class was in the first class on the second floor of a building. At this time, there weren't many people wandering around St. Brilliant's Academy. Most of them had already gone to their classes. Lin Xian went to the entrance of the Beginner Class 10. He saw Xiao Runing, and at the same time, Xiao Runing also saw Lin Xian. The 50 over students in the class all looked at Lin Xian. Wang Xintong saw Lin Xian, and was pleasantly surprised. Why was Lin Xian here? They didn't know that Lin Xian also came to school. She had a good relationship with Xiao Runing, so she continued to be Xiao Runing's student, and stayed in Xiao Runing's class. As for Lu Yufan and Yi Yi, they were in another class, which was also Xiao Runing's main class, Class 9. Because they came later, Xiao Runing's Class 9 already had 55 people. This was the maximum number set by the academy, so she couldn't bring Wang Xintong to Class 9. Therefore, Wang Xintong was in Class 10, but it didn't matter. But because of Lu Yufan and the others, Class 9 and Class 10 became more famous, because they all knew that there were 3 beautiful girls in these 2 classes. No matter where, beautiful girls were the most dazzling and eye-catching existence. Come in, Xiao Runing said to Lin Xian. Then he walked in slowly, embarrassed. Most of these students were 16 or 17 years old, about the same age as Lu Yufan and the others. Xiao Runing then said to everyone, "This is our Class 10's new student, introduce yourself." Lin Xian nodded and said, "Hello everyone, my name is Lin Xian. I'm from Tianhua City. My strength is that I'm more handsome, but my weakness is that I'm too handsome." Everyone puffed. Someone couldn't help but laugh. Why was there a clown? Wang Xintong also held back her laughter. It was Lin Xian indeed. Xiao Runing also showed a helpless expression. "All right, then go and find a seat first." Lin Xian nodded and walked down. The seats were for 2 people at the same table. Lin Xian naturally chose to sit next to Wang Xintong. There was no one next to Wang Xintong. She had a gentle and quiet personality, but she didn't like to make friends. It was the same in Tianhua City, but it didn't mean that she didn't have good relationships with people. Lin Xian directly sat next to Wang Xintong. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. He actually sat next to Wang Xintong. Isn't he courting death? Who doesn't know that Wang Xintong is young Master Lu's woman? Everyone wants to sit in this seat, but no one dares to. This Lin Xian is probably going to be beaten up. Looks like he's also a pervert. He saw such a beautiful school belle and sat next to her. You men are all pigs. No wonder he's going to be beaten up. After Lin Xian sat next to Wang Xintong, many students started whispering. Of course, Lin Xian also heard it. Wang Xintong was very beautiful. It was normal for some powerful young masters to covet her. Lin Xian was already prepared. Wang Xintong wasn't worried because she knew how powerful Lin Xian was. However, young Master Lu was also a Thunder Tribulation Realm master. He was also very powerful and had a lot of power. She didn't know much about him, so she hoped that there wouldn't be any big problems. Anyway, she was Lin Xian's girlfriend. Lin Xian sat next to her. Wang Xintong would definitely be willing to let Wang Xintong sit next to her. Okay, class starts now. Xiao Runing exuded her charm as usual. Chapter 640. Lin Xian was not here to attend classes. To be honest, he had already learned all the things that Xiao Runing was talking about. Wang Xintong also knew them. However, they would just treat it as a revision. They were all waiting to enter the advanced class, or even the backyard. Basically, all of them were here for the mystic realm. Little Tong Tong, did you miss me? Lin Xian placed his hand on Wang Xintong's desk and squeezed it. Wang Xintong's little face was flushed red. However, this scene was witnessed by a few people. They had an expression of disbelief. What did they see? They actually saw this freshman taking advantage of Wang Xintong. Unforgivable. At this moment, someone behind Lin Xian poked him on the left and passed a small note to Lin Xian. Lin Xian opened the note. You're finished. How dare you touch young Master Lu's woman? You're dead. This was the content of the note. Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile. Wang Xintong was also a campus belle. Lin Xian had expected that she could attract the attention of others. Who is this young Master Lu? Lin Xian's hand started to move around under the desk. He then asked with a smile. Wang Xintong bit her lip and blushed. Don't move. Lin Xian smiled and stopped teasing her. Xiao Runing, who was sitting in front, naturally paid more attention to this bastard Lin Xian. Of course, she also saw Wang Xintong's blushing face. This bastard was definitely taking advantage of this girl again. Regarding this question, Lin Xian answer it. Xiao Runing looked at Lin Xian and asked. Lin Xian stood up. What was the problem? Lin Xian scratched his head. You don't know. Lin Xian nodded. If you don't know, go stand outside as punishment. Lin Xian. Wow. This woman. He still took too little advantage of her. That. Miss Xiao, I'm a new student. I don't know anything. I haven't even started learning. It's normal that I don't know anything. There's no need for me to stand outside as punishment. Lin Xian said with a dry cough. Xiao Runing secretly glared at Lin Xian, and then said, Okay, you teach me well. Then, Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief and sat down. Little Tong Tong, who the hell is this young Master Lu? Lin Xian asked again. Wang Xintong whispered. He seems to be the son of a big family in Lin City. He looks quite powerful. Is he your suitor? Lin Xian asked with a smile. Wang Xintong nodded. I told him that I have a boyfriend, but he didn't believe me. Wang Xintong only said that she had a boyfriend, but she didn't say that it was Lin Xian. She was also thinking for Lin Xian, because she actually knew some of Lin Xian's thoughts. That proves that my little Tong Tong is charming. Lin Xian smiled. Wang Xintong was so shy that she didn't know what to say. Xiao Runing was unhappy. She just watched Lin Xian flirt with Wang Xintong. Although she didn't know what they were talking about, Wang Xintong's blushing face was enough to say something. I'll take you to see him after class. No need. It's too troublesome. You can go do your own thing. Don't worry about me. Wang Xintong was afraid of disturbing Lin Xian. Isn't your business my business? It's fine. Wang Xintong nodded slightly. If it was in the past, Wang Xintong would be very worried about Lin Xian's safety. But now, she didn't have to worry too much. At least in this city, she didn't have to worry too much. Lin Xian was in the Thunder Tribulation realm. The Thunder Tribulation realm might only be a mediocre level in the world, but in an academy, it was indeed very powerful. Moreover, Wang Xintong also knew that Lin Xian's combat strength was strong. Class is over, Xiao Runing said, then hugged her books and walked away. Many students were reluctant to part with her, and even many students outside came out just to see Xiao Runing. As soon as Xiao Runing left, Lin Xian was immediately surrounded by a few people. What's the matter? Lin Xian glanced at them. Do you know who you took advantage of today? That's our young Master Lu's woman. I've already sent a message to young Master Lu. Just wait for your death. Lin Xian shrugged. Why was it that after leaving the academy for a while, he couldn't get used to the idiotic students in the academy, and he felt that every academy was like this? Was there always a group of people who thought they were awesome? Oh, that's great. Lin Xian secretly gave them a thumbs up. Everyone. Great. Was there something wrong with this newcomer's brain? Little Tong Tong, are you hungry? Let's go to the academy to buy some snacks. Wang Xintong nodded slightly. Then, Lin Xian held her hand and walked out. Everyone. What was going on? How could he hold Wang Xintong's hand? Moreover, Wang Xintong really held his hand? The two of them walked out just like that. Many students' eyes fell on them. And then their mouths fell open. Damn, isn't that the new campus belle Wang Xintong? She's actually holding hands with a guy? What's going on? Is that Wang Xintong's boyfriend? Nonsense, it's not her boyfriend holding hands with a guy openly. That's not right. Didn't Wang Xintong fail to pursue young Master Lu from the advanced class? Then who would be able to pursue her? Moreover, I don't know this guy. He's definitely not a famous powerhouse in our academy, right? What's going on? Seeing this scene, everyone was shocked and incredulous. One by one, they followed them from afar. Hey, it's Lin Xian. Lu Yufan and Yi Yi walked out hand in hand and happened to see this scene. How should they put it? Seeing Lin Xian and Wang Xintong holding hands, Lu Yufan was jealous, but she was not angry. It was as if this was a very normal scene. Moreover, they were good friends. Then Yi Yi and Lu Yufan ran over. Hey Lin Xian. Lu Yufan patted Lin Xian's shoulder. Wang Xintong subconsciously wanted to let go of Lin Xian's hand, but Lin Xian held it very tightly. Lin Xian turned to look at them. Let go, don't take advantage of Xintong. Lu Yufan pouted. At this moment, Lin Xian smiled bitterly, scratched his head, and let go of Wang Xintong. Lin Xian, why are you here? Yi asked curiously. Oh, I'm here to study. I'm in the same class as Xintong. The two girls. Tisk. I think you're here to pick up girls. Lu Yufan's cute little nose wrinkled. Yes, I'm here to pick you guys up. Hooligan. And this scene was witnessed by everyone. The three new campus belles all knew this guy. And they were even fooling around. It looked like they had a good relationship. Oh my god. What's going on? What's wrong with this world? Chapter 641. What you can't get is forever in turmoil. In a short period of time, this news spread like wildfire in Sacred Academy. It was very simple. Spread it in the group, and then the people in the group would spread it in their own group. Then on Sacred Academy's forum, this post became the hottest topic. Soon the whole academy knew about it. Lin Xian also became popular. It was so fast and so simple. Everyone knew of this person's existence, but they didn't know his name. Wait for your death. Whether it's Lu Yufan Yi Yi or Wang Xintong, there's no lack of big shots chasing after them. This person is actually so close to all three of them. He can only wait for his death. Everyone was looking forward to the scene of Lin Xian being beaten up. To be honest, they were really looking forward to it. They were jealous. Jealousy made them want to see Lin Xian being beaten up. In fact, Lu Yufan and the others liked having Lin Xian come to school. This was because they could basically see each other every day. In the past, when Lin Xian wasn't in school, they couldn't see each other. Sacred Academy originally had 10 campus belles. But because of their addition, the ranking of campus belles was changed. This was normal. Any beautiful person who entered a school, as long as they reached the standard of campus belles, would be ranked. As a matter of fact, Lu Yufan and the others directly squeezed out a few of the original campus belles. Then they occupied the campus belles ranking. The main reason was because they were beautiful. When they were beautiful, they didn't have to do anything and naturally had people chasing after them. You came at the right time. There are a few people who are annoying us every day. Help us solve them. Lu Yufan said with a grin. Sure, but I need a reason. The three beautiful girls looked at Lin Xian. Think about it. It's their freedom to chase after you, right? They nodded. So this is their freedom. What right do I have to stop them? Somehow, he felt that it made sense. Then what should we do? Lu Yufan blinked her big eyes and asked. Lin Xian smiled. I have an idea. Speak. Lin Xian then smiled and said. It's simple. You just need to give me a reason to help you. What reason? Lin Xian said. If you are all my girlfriends, then I have a reason. But if I'm not, I don't even have the right to warn them, right? Ugh. For some reason he felt that it made sense. But Isn't it strange that you have the three of us as your girlfriends? Lu Yufan asked innocently. It's not strange, as long as you don't care about the rumors. Do you care? They shook their heads. Of course I don't. That's good then. Well, from now on, I'm the boyfriend of the three of you. Then, Lin Xian hugged Wang Xintong with one arm, and Yi Yi with the other. Lu Yufan, Yi Yi, Wang Xintong, and the people around them who had been paying attention to them were even more dumbfounded. It's not a big deal that you're holding hands with Wang Xintong. It's normal that you're a couple. You're holding hands with Wang Xintong, and you even know Yi Yi and Lu Yufan. You're chatting and laughing with them. That's not a problem. You're on good terms, so you know each other. But you're F*King hugging two school bells. That's a F*King big problem. What the F*CK? What's going on? He's F*King hugging both Yi Yi and Wang Xintong? They can't all be his girlfriends, right? Bullsh*T. It's impossible even if you use your toes to think about it. But how can their relationship be so good? No, why would the school bells agree to let a guy hug both of them? Aren't they uninterested in guys pursuing them? What's going on? Oh my god. I want to know. Please tell me. This scene had completely refreshed their worldview. And Lin Xian, it felt so good. He's hugging two school bells in front of so many people. Can you understand this feeling? Sorry, you can't because you've never experienced it before. Do we really have to do this? Yi Yi was a little uncomfortable. After all, Wang Xintong and Lu Yufan were both Lin Xian's girlfriends. They might be better off, but she wasn't. At most, she was on good terms with Lin Xian. However, Lin Xian and her were just short of a confession. If they confessed, they could basically win her over. However, because Yi Yi hadn't triggered the mission yet, this confession to Lin Xian had to be put aside for now. Lin Xian, of course I'll be your shield. Don't worry, leave everything to me. But I still have to hug them, Lu Yufan said jealously. Lin Xian pondered for a moment, then let go of Yi Yi and hugged Lu Yufan. Everyone. What the F*CK? This is crazy. Their worldview had really collapsed. The three of them took turns hugging each other? And the three school bells didn't reject him? What the F*CK? Even in school, it was almost impossible for a boy to hug two girls. But it did happen. For example, some rich playboys could hug two girls. It happened in St. Brilliant's Academy too. Girls liked each other for money and didn't care about anything else. If they were willing, then it was fine. But it was different now. Lin Xian was hugging three girls. And three of them were school bells. The meaning, extent, and even the concept were completely different. I keep feeling like I've been tricked and taken advantage of. Lu Yufan pouted. But more than that, she felt that it was quite interesting. They didn't care about the rumors. In any case, it was fine as long as they knew it in their hearts. As for their families, so what if they found out? They could just explain it to them when the time came. How could that be? Wouldn't I be tired too? Think about it. When the time comes, I might have to fight against the suitors of you three beautiful girls. How tired would I be then, right? I'll pay the price. Lin Xian began to speak all kinds of sweet nothings. The naive girls were stunned and felt that this wasn't good. But they were convinced by Lin Xian's nonsense. In front of them, a few people were walking towards them. They happened to meet Lin Xian and the others. Then they were completely stunned. That was normal. Anyone who saw this scene would be stunned. Young Master Lu. Isn't this Wang Xintong? She actually. And there's Lu Yufan and Yi Yi. One of them said with widened eyes. Did they F*King see a ghost in broad daylight? When Lu Jingyi saw this scene, he was enraged. What was going on? What was going on? Chapter 642. He was one of Wang Xintong's pursuers. Of course, if he were to pursue Lu Yufan or Yi Yi, he would be willing to do so, because they were all beautiful. However, he had to choose one to pursue. Thus, he chose Wang Xintong and launched an extremely exaggerated attack on her. Although Wang Xintong rejected him, he believed that this was just a pretty girl's reservedness. Those young masters who pursued Yi Yi and the others were also in the same situation. However, They all believed that this was just a pretty girl's reservedness. One day, as long as he asked them out alone, he would be able to win them over. However, what did he see? The girl he pursued, and the other two campus belles were actually being hugged by a boy. Moreover, they were doing it so openly, even in front of the entire school. Was this a F***king ghost? Lu Jingyi really rubbed his eyes. After rubbing his eyes, what he saw was still the same scene. F***ck. The expressions of the surrounding people were exactly the same as his. It was as if they had seen a ghost in broad daylight. At this moment, Lin Xian was indescribably pleased. Young Master Lu, who is this person? What right does he have? A person beside Lu Jingyi asked in shock. How the F***ck would I know? F***ck. How dare you touch my woman? You're courting death. Lu Jingyi then walked over angrily and stood in front of Lin Xian and the others. Oh, this is interesting. Lu Jingyi actually saw this scene. Then this arrogant brat is done for. Lu Jingyi is a member of the advanced class. His strength is one of the best among his peers in China. His family is also very powerful. F***ck. He's hugging the campus belles left and right. If this isn't a F***king death, then what is? In any case, the surrounding 100 people definitely wanted to see Lin Xian get beaten up. You stop right there. Lu Jingyi pointed at Lin Xian and shouted angrily. More and more people gathered around. After all, the three campus belles were together. After all, such a shocking incident had happened. Lin Xian and the others stopped in their tracks. Then Lin Xian looked at Lu Jingyi. You are? Lu Jingyi. Lu Jingyi gritted his teeth as he glared at Lin Xian. Lin Xian smirked. Oh, I don't know you. What's the matter? If there's nothing else, you're blocking the way. I still have to take my 3 girlfriends to eat. Lu Jingyi. 3 girlfriends. Xantong, what is the meaning of this? Lu Jingyi looked at Wang Xintong. I told you I have a boyfriend. Lin Xian is my boyfriend. Wang Xintong said. But Lu Jingyi gritted his teeth. It doesn't matter. The 3 of us don't care. Why do you care? Lu Yufan hugged Lin Xian's arm and said sweetly. Lu Jingyi was going crazy. Was this F***king real or fake? However, they were indeed taken advantage of by this Lin Xian. How could they be taken advantage of by a guy who was not their boyfriend? If there's nothing else, move aside. After speaking, Lin Xian said to Lu Yufan, let's go to Rose Heaven for dinner tonight. Sure, let's go together. Yi and the others nodded. Lu Jingyi. Then, Lin Xian and the others were about to leave. Wait. Lu Jingyi stopped Lin Xian. Is there anything else? I want to fight you one-on-one. Only the winner will get Wang Xintong. Lin Xian. Are you still young? Lin Xian smiled. What the F***ck? You don't dare. Lu Jingyi smiled disdainfully. Fight. 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 For some reason the people around them agreed. They really wanted to see Lin Xian get beaten up. Lin Xian shook his head. You can't beat me. After speaking, he hugged Wang Xintong and Lu Yufan and walked forward. You're courting death. Lu Jingyi's expression instantly turned ugly. An aura erupted from his body. And then a thunderbolt blasted toward Lin Xian. However, he regretted it the moment he blasted it out. He was a member of the advanced class, and his strength was at the mysterious heaven realm. Meanwhile, Lin Xian was only a new student in the beginner class. He should be very weak. If things went wrong, this thunderbolt might just kill him. Although he was furious, he did not want to kill. Although he was a hedonistic young master, he really did not dare to do this. However, those who were watching the show did not care. So what if he killed Lin Xian? It had nothing to do with them. Anyway, they were jealous when they saw Lin Xian hugging several school beauties. It would be better if he died. However, in the next moment, the thunderbolt that was about to hit Lin Xian's back suddenly disappeared. Boom! The disappeared thunderbolt reappeared in front of Lu Jingyi and blasted toward him. Lu Jingyi was shocked. He quickly blocked it, but was sent flying by his own thunderbolt. He landed on the ground and stabilized himself with difficulty. Everyone was dumbfounded. What was going on? Why would such a scene happen? Lu Jingyi was also puzzled. Why? Why did the thunderbolt he released turn around and attack him? He didn't believe it. So he released another bolt of lightning and then bombarded him. Something was wrong, something was wrong. Someone must have done it. Was it Lin Xian? Lu Jingyi frowned. This was the only possibility he could think of. Then this Lin Xian. Could he be an expert? That's possible. After all, the beginner class was not necessarily trash. Moreover, it was a crucial point. The fact that Lin Xian was able to attract the attention of 3 school beauties all by himself, and even had 3 of them in his arms, proved that he was something. Although Lu Jingyi was a playboy, he still had some brains. Young Master Lu, what do we do now? Don't worry. Let's follow them, and take a look. Lu Jingyi then led his men to follow behind Lin Xian. Lin Xian brought them to the store. Boss, we'll wrap up all these grilled sausages. Everyone. Was he F***King crazy? You F***King bought dozens of grilled sausages to show off your wealth? More and more people followed behind Lin Xian. And the others, because this scene was simply too inconceivable. In the beginning, Yi Yi and Wang Xintong were not used to it. Lu Yufan was fine because of her personality. However, they gradually got used to it. Then, each of them held 2 grilled sausages in each hand, and munched on them, as they went to buy other delicious food. These were all simple things. However, it depended on who they were with. With Lin Xian, even if it was just a simple walk, it was still interesting. Xiao Runing came to buy a cup of milk tea, and saw this scene. She opened her mouth. This Lin Xian. Perhaps the Sacred Academy would be stirred up again, because of this Lin Xian's arrival, because he did not want to keep a low profile. Chapter 643. Lu Jingyi was about to die from jealousy, but what could he do? It seemed like he couldn't beat him, and his woman was in his arms. What could he do? Lin Xian. Xiao Runing called out to Lin Xian. Lin Xian looked over, and because they knew each other, Lu Yufan and the rest quickly left Lin Xian's evil clutches in embarrassment. Miss Xiao, buy some milk tea. Let me treat you. Lin Xian said with a grin. Can you pay attention to your image in the academy? I have a good image. I dress appropriately and speak politely. Am I right, young Master Lu? Lin Xian asked Lu Jingyi, who was pretending to buy something. Yes, my ass. Miss Xiao, this Lin Xian is openly hugging girls in the academy. This has seriously affected the atmosphere of St. Brilliant's Academy. I suggest that the academy punish this kind of person. Lu Jingyi said. Xiao Runing pondered for a moment and felt that it was reasonable. So his name is Lin Xian. It's useless even if he calls himself Daddy Lin. But let's not talk about other things. He can really have the school belle-level beauties on both sides. Even the people in the backyard can't do that, especially those who tried so hard to woo one of them. But this is something we have to admire. Soon, the name Lin Xian became famous in St. Brilliant's Academy because of this incident. Lin Xian laughed and said, I don't think it's a big deal. Is it illegal for me to hold hands and hug my girlfriend in the academy? Of course, you have 1 girlfriend and I have 3. But it's not illegal, right? Is it illegal for me to hug 3? They get along well with each other. Is it illegal? For some reason, he felt that Lin Xian's words made sense, but it was so F***ing infuriating. After saying that, Lin Xian secretly glared at Xiao Runing, as if to say, if you make me unhappy, I'll hug you too. Not to mention, Xiao Runing was a bit scared. Fine, you can do whatever you want if you have the ability. After saying that, Xiao Runing walked away with her milk tea. This kind of thing wasn't easy to deal with, but it couldn't be helped even if others were unhappy. Lin Xian's gaze swept across Lu Jingyi. Lu Jingyi frowned. He was thinking about something. He couldn't get his hands on the woman anymore. He couldn't beat her either. Only someone more powerful could beat her. He didn't want that either. But now there was a chance for him. Although he thought that Lin Xian was very ordinary, he was able to have 3 beauties on his left and right. He was even able to get them to get along well with each other. For him to be willing to have 3 beauties on his left and right meant that he had something up his sleeves. But what about him? It was easy for him to find a girlfriend because his family had a lot of power, but the girls he found were all ordinary girls, and 99% of them had taken a fancy to his money. So he preferred girls like Wang Xintong. because he felt that not only was she beautiful, she wouldn't care about his money, but he couldn't get it. Moreover, he didn't know how to use methods other than money to woo girls. Then, if he could learn a trick or two from Lin Xian, he could also master the art of woo girls. Since he couldn't get the woman, there was no need to be an enemy. Moreover, there were a few more beautiful goddesses in the academy. If he couldn't get them, wouldn't there be more noble ones? He didn't think that Lin Xian could woo girls of their level, but he could. As long as he learned Lin Xian's art of woo girls. Those girls weren't much prettier than them. They were older than them, and most people liked goddesses in their 20s. Of course, they would be as pretty in a few years. But now, it was obvious that girls in their 20s were more charming. Moreover, they were especially charming. Their temperament wasn't just for show. Moreover, none of them had a boyfriend. If he could woo those kinds of goddesses, he would be king proud to bring them out. And it was true that they had many more suitors than Lu Yufan and the others. After all, Lu Yufan and the others were the 5th, 6th, and 7th school belles. There were 4 more in front of them. Those 4 TSK. He needed Lin Xian. Boss, how much? Lin Xian brought the 3 girls for a snack and asked. Cough, cough. At this moment Lu Jingyi coughed and said, well, this meal is on me. Keep the change. He handed over a few red notes. Lin Xian smiled. Oh, young Master Lu, is something the matter? Lu Jingyi smiled. No. I'm just taking care of the new students. In this St. Brilliance Academy, who doesn't know that I, young Master Lu, am generous and generous? Everyone likes to make friends with me because I, young Master Lu, am generous and generous. You're just a fool with a lot of money, right? Lu Yufan said. Lu Jingyi then said, I attacked young Master Lin just now because I wanted to test the new student's strength. Since Xintong has found her place, I can only give her my blessings. Lin Xian raised an eyebrow. This Lu Jingyi was quite interesting. Other hedonistic young masters fought and killed. If they couldn't beat them, they would let others do it. If others couldn't beat them, there would be others behind them. In any case, there were all kinds of plots and tricks. This Lu Jingyi actually paid for him, and even said such words. Was this a scheme? Lin Xian wasn't sure. Is something the matter? Lin Xian took a sip of milk tea and said. Cough, cough. Lu Jingyi said. Young Master Lin, are you going to Rose Heaven for dinner tonight? I'll go too. I'll be a good host, okay? It's my treat. No need. I'm going with my 3 little girlfriends. Why are you going? This is true. The surrounding people were also dumbfounded. Weren't they supposed to say tough words to each other, and then fight to the death? If they couldn't win, they would invite someone stronger to fight. Why did it suddenly become like this? It was too strange. Many strange things had happened today. But I appreciate your kindness. You can be a good host. As for the place, don't go. So if you have the heart, then give me a discount. I'll pay with your money tonight. That's your treat, right? Lin Xian suddenly said. Pfft, Lu Yufan, and the others couldn't help but laugh. What kind of logic was this? This Lin Xian was really shameless. With so many people around and his previous words, this Lu Jingyi really couldn't refuse. However, he didn't think it was too big of a deal. Okay, does that mean young Master Lin wants to be friends with me? A fool with a lot of money. Bah, young Master Lu is so enthusiastic. Of course. Then let's add each other as friends. After that, I'll transfer the money to you. Lin Xian smiled, sure. This was he really stupid? Chapter 644. Then in front of the stunned crowd, they added each other as friends. This was King completely different from what they had expected. Is young Master Lin free now? After all, young Master Lin just arrived, right? Whether it's Xiantong or Lu Yufan, they're also new here. They're not very familiar with this place. Why don't I personally lead the way for you to familiarize yourself with this new environment? Lin Xian obviously knew that he had something to say to him. Sure. Then Lin Xian said to them, I'm going out with young Master Lu. You guys can play by yourselves. Can't we go together? Lu Yufan pouted and asked. This is a topic between men, a topic between men. Lu Jingyi coughed and said. Oh. Then Lin Xian and Lu Jingyi left just like that. Everyone was dumbfounded. The two of them walked around the school. Ahem. Lu Jingyi coughed awkwardly and said, I was wrong to attack young Master Lin just now, so I'll apologize to young Master Lin first. Lin Xian smiled. It's okay. Lu Jingyi then asked curiously, Young Master Lin, to be honest, are those three really your girlfriends? Otherwise, why would I just hug them like that? Then Lu Jingyi gave Lin Xian a thumbs up. Amazing, amazing. I want to ask you how you were able to pursue them, and even let them know that you're three-timing, and not blame you. I've always thought that this is a kind of knowledge, the most profound knowledge. Unfortunately, I've never been able to understand it. Lin Xian smiled in his heart. So this Lu Jingyi was learning how to pick up girls from him. Lin Xian didn't know how to pick up girls. He was far from it. Lin Xian really felt that he was lucky to be able to pick up so many girls, including Han Chuxue and Ling Ying. These two girls were normally impossible for him to touch, but he was able to get them both. Was it strength? No, it was luck. He unintentionally saved Han Chuxue. And because of this, Lin Xian was able to get her. He unintentionally saved Ling Ying, and then raped her while he was unconscious. It was also because of this that he was able to get her. Lin Xian truly felt that he was lucky. However, there was no problem in imparting some experience to him. Lin Xian had a weathered look on his face as he said, Once upon a time, I was just like you. I felt that chasing a girl was very difficult indeed. Lu Jingyi nodded his head excitedly, as if he could empathize with him. Yeah, it's really difficult. Those women are only after my money, and to be honest, their looks are just average. The so-called beauties paled in comparison to them. Lin Xian said, That's why I spent 10 years researching this matter. Finally, I made a breakthrough last year. F***ck. That's really a big step for us men. Lu Jingyi said excitedly. 10 years of research was exactly what he needed. Look at me now. What kind of woman in this world can't I get? This, Lu Jingyi scratched his head and said, Actually, it's not that I want to discourage you, young Master Lin. There are indeed a few goddesses in our Saint Brilliance Academy that are almost impossible to get. Oh. Lin Xian raised his eyebrows. Is the target of this mission about to appear? Then tell me, I'm new here too. Who are the girls in Saint Brilliance Academy that I can't get? Those are the top 4 goddesses in Saint Brilliance Academy. Our Miss Xiao is one of them. Lin Xian. However, because she's a teacher, she's ranked a little lower. She's ranked 4th. The 3rd and 2nd goddesses are really beautiful. They've only been in the academy for a few days, but they're already ranked 2nd and 3rd, just like Lu Yufan and the rest. However, they have even more suitors. The 3rd is Ling Ying, and the 2nd is Han Chuxue. Lin Xian. It's really these 2 girls. However, what made Lin Xian curious was that they were only ranked 3rd and 2nd. The 2 of them, and Miss Xiao, are the real goddesses. It's a pity that strangers can't get close to them. You say school bells like Wang Xintong, and the rest can at least exchange a few words with them, right? As for Han Chuxue and the rest, TSK, we don't even dare to talk to them. It makes us feel inferior. To be honest, if you don't have confidence, you'll feel inferior in front of them. Unfortunately, the 2 girls he was talking about had already been won over by Lin Xian. Then what about the 1st place? You've already described the 2nd and 3rd as beautiful. How beautiful must the 1st place be? Lin Xian asked. Actually, the 1st place isn't prettier than them. To be precise, they're equal. Anyway, in my opinion, they're both beautiful. However, why is she the 1st place? Because she's been the #1 beauty of our Saint Brilliance Academy for 2 years. After all, Ling Ying and Han Chuxue are new here, so they can't shake her position. Lin Xian suddenly understood. He knew it. How could she be prettier than Ling Ying and Han Chuxue? That's almost impossible. However, since they're both beautiful, then there's something. Do you want to make a bet? Lin Xian laughed. Bet on what? Bet that I can get both Ling Ying and Han Chuxue in 3 days, and Ling Ying and Han Chuxue in a week. Do you want to bet? PFFF. Hearing Lin Xian's words, Lu Jingyi couldn't help but laugh. Young Master Lin, I admit that you're good at picking up girls, but you still don't understand them. Lu Jingyi indeed felt that Lin Xian was good at picking up girls. This was without a doubt. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to do what he did before. However, he really felt that Ling Ying and the rest were impossible. Then do you want to bet? Lin Xian asked. Sure. What do you want to bet on? Lu Jingyi felt that he would definitely win. Money. Don't you have a lot of money? Then let's bet on money. If I can get both Ling Ying and Han Chuxue in 3 days, you'll give me 1 million. If I can get both of them in a week, you'll give me another 2 million. Otherwise, I'll give you the same amount. Do you want to bet? Bet, of course I want to bet. Lin Xian's lips curled up. Here comes the money. Although it wasn't much, who wouldn't want more money? Lu Jingyi didn't know where Lin Xian's confidence came from. Those 2 girls weren't easy to get. From the day they arrived, those guys in the backyard started to pursue them intensely. Unfortunately, it was completely useless, let alone this Lin Xian. But that's that. I still want to learn how to pick up girls from young Master Lin. He didn't think that he could get a girl like Han Chuxue. But if he learned, what if he did? He still felt that he was quite capable. He just lacked the skills to pick up girls. Are you a bootlicker? Lin Xian asked. Lu Jingyi scratched his head. I don't think so. Then will you give red packets to the girls you're chasing? Of course. Isn't that a very normal thing? Bootlicker. Chapter 645. Lu Jingyi was dumbfounded. How was giving a girl a red packet a bootlicker? This was a way to cultivate feelings and favorability in the pursuit of a girl. Lin Xian shook his head. Your method is a typical bootlicker. Is it that every time a girl receives a red packet from you, she will be especially happy, and then you will feel especially satisfied, and the red packets will become bigger and bigger? Lu Jingyi was dumbfounded. How did he know? Then these girls, some of them you caught up with because you were rich, but what if they didn't know your identity? After you confessed to them, they rejected you, and then their attitude towards you became cold. Lu Jingyi, how do you know? He felt more and more that this Lin Xian was something. Not only do I know this, I also know that if you didn't have power, then you would still be a single dog, and would always be a single dog. Lu Jingyi. Even though he didn't want to admit it, he had to admit that all of his previous girlfriends were aware of his identity. All of them were after his money. None of the girls who didn't know his identity managed to get him. He knew that Lin Xian was F*King right. What a godly person. What else? Lu Jingyi actually had the illusion that he had learned a lot from chatting with Lin Xian for a while. Also, let me think, do you smoke? Lu Jingyi nodded. Of course, a man's romance. Then do all the girls say that they don't like men who smoke and drink, and that they don't like what kind of man? But later on, they find such a man to be their boyfriend. Lu Jingyi's eyes lit up. Damn, that's true. I have a cousin who used to say that. But later on, she found a boyfriend who smoked a pack a day, but he was just a scumbag. Later on, her family repeatedly advised her to break up, but she kept protecting her boyfriend. Brother Xian, why is that? Inexplicably, the way he addressed Lin Xian became Brother Xian. Why? That was because he was convinced. Because from the beginning to the end, you have misunderstood the concept of picking up girls. You can pick them up if you have money. But without money, can't you really pick up a goddess? Lu Jingyi shook his head, meaning he didn't know. Let's go. Didn't you say that there are girls called Ling Ying and Han Chuxue in the school who are very beautiful? Are they here? Yes, I saw them this morning. They are also in the advanced class. Huh. Didn't they say that no matter how strong a freshman is, they can only be in the beginner class? Why are they in the advanced class? Lin Xian asked. They seem to have a good relationship with Teacher Xiao. Teacher Xiao recommended them, and their own strength is very exaggerated, so they can go. Maybe it won't be long before they can go to the backyard. What's wrong? Lu Jingyi scratched his head and asked. Lin Xian felt that it didn't matter whether it was in the advanced class or the beginner class. He would have to wait until then. Therefore, this was also the reason why Xiao Runing didn't directly recommend Lin Xian to the advanced class. She also knew that Lin Xian didn't care about these things. And there was one more thing. Lin Xian in the beginner class may at most have some friction with some spirit condensation realm. But if he was in the advanced class, wouldn't he have friction with a group of mysterious sky realm every day? The degree of friction would be even greater. So Xiao Runing let Lin Xian cause less trouble. It was good to be in the beginner class. Unfortunately, she underestimated Lin Xian. Being in the beginner class would affect him going to the advanced class to cause trouble? Lin Xian smiled and then said to Lu Jingyi, "Next, I will use practice to tell you that even if they are goddesses, they are not that hard to chase." Lu Jingyi, "You're not going to deal with them, are you?" "I'm not going to deal with them. I'm going to chase them." Lu Jingyi, "That was absolutely impossible. Those goddesses were really hard to chase. No matter how good your methods were, it was still hard to chase them." Lu Jingyi admired Lin Xian before. But when he heard what Lin Xian said, he immediately felt that he was being pretentious, and that admiration was directly reduced by more than half. "You don't believe me?" Lin Xian saw his expression and asked with a smile. Lu Jingyi was more honest and he shook his head. "It's not that I want to say this, but as long as they don't like that kind of girl, there is almost no possibility of chasing them. Let alone chasing them, they won't even want to be friends with the opposite sex. They can't even get their WeChat ID. Even people who are much better than me can't get it. And you still want to chase them?" Lin Xian smiled and said, "Of course, I won't be able to woo them today. I told you that it would take 3 days, but I'll be able to get their WeChat ID later. I can even get them to ask me for my WeChat ID." "Impossible." "Okay, so you still want to gamble." Lin Xian's lips curled. Lu Jingyi said, "Let's not talk about whether you can catch up with them or not. But if you can get their WeChat ID today, I'll give you 1 million right now. If you can make them take the initiative to ask for your WeChat ID, I'll give you another 1 million. You, Lin Xian, will be my most respected master from now on." Lin Xian patted him on the shoulder and said, "You're still too young. In that case, I'll teach you a lesson later. The first lesson is to tell you that you can't be a bootlicker when it comes to chasing girls. Let's go." Those who knew that Lin Xian and Ling Ying knew were people from Tianhua City, and how many students from Tianhua City came to St. Brilliant Academy. Only people with backgrounds like Zhang Tian and Chen Cheng, but they didn't care. Even if they knew, they probably wouldn't care about this matter. There was no need to worry about the rest. Next, it was time for Lin Xian to show off and earn money. Not earning a few million for nothing? Wouldn't he be a fool? Moreover, although Lin Xian knew that Ling Ying and the rest wouldn't have anything, to be honest, Lin Xian was not happy to see them being pursued by a group of powerful and influential young masters. They couldn't tell others that they had boyfriends, because this matter was only known to themselves, their families, and Lin Xian. As for Xiao Runing and the rest, they didn't know. If word got out, it would be troublesome. Lin Xian brought Lu Jingyi, who thought he was showing off, to the advanced class. This advanced class was more than 10 times bigger than Tianhua Academy's advanced class. The scale of the academy was indeed different. No wonder St. Brilliant Academy was so famous. Of course, Lu Jingyi didn't believe it. However, Lin Xian's words made a lot of sense. Humans were like that. Even if they didn't believe it, they would still have some hope. If he succeeded, then he would be invincible in the future. Chapter 646. Lin Xian's name became famous in St. Brilliant Academy in a short period of time. Most people knew that there was a person called Lin Xian, who had 3 campus beauties in his arms. However, they didn't know who Lin Xian was. When Lin Xian walked past them, they didn't even know that he was the male lead they were talking about. Lin Xian rubbed his chin. Along the way, he had already heard no less than 10 groups of people talking about the incident just now. It was enough to see the campus beauties, and how big of a sensation this incident had caused. This was just the beginning. After a few hours, or even half a day, it would be even more sensational. Of course, Lin Xian definitely had to greet Ling Ying and the others. Although they were smart, how could they cooperate with Lin Xian if they were normal? Along the way, Lin Xian pretended to play with his phone, but he was secretly chatting with Ling Ying. He talked about his plan and asked her to cooperate. In the end, Lin Xian paid the price of feeding them good food whenever he was free, and continued doing this for a week in exchange for their cooperation. Lin Xian thought for a moment. That's not right. Isn't this a win-win situation? He was also doing it for them. He could also be their shield. Why did he have to pay such a price? But it didn't matter. Why should his wife be so conflicted? Ling Ying and Han Chuxue were in class 13 of the advanced class, but they weren't there right now. Lin Xian and Lu Jingyi's arrival didn't attract too much attention. Where are they? Lin Xian pretended not to know and asked Lu Jingyi. That's easy. Then Lu Jingyi randomly pulled over someone from the advanced class and asked, Bro, have you seen Ling Ying and Han Chuxue? Where did they go? Lu Jingyi was originally a member of the advanced class. Coupled with his superior family background, he wasn't afraid of some people from the advanced class. However, even though his family background was superior, when placed in Lin City, it was actually only at the middle class level. However, this middle class level should be about the same as the top class level in Tianhua City. After all, Tianhua City was the most border city. Many people would give up on developing there. Therefore, Tianhua City had been going downhill. This was also very normal. After all, not many people would dare to bet their treasures on a border city. They seemed to have gone to the school's karaoke room to sing. Lin Xian. Damn. St. Brilliant Academy is so advanced. There's karaoke room? Lu Jingyi explained to Lin Xian. This karaoke room is a type of music class. However, it's very big and there are a lot of them. It's also a place that many girls like to go. Of course, since girls like to go there, it naturally becomes a place that boys like to go to. Originally, Lu Jingyi was Lin Xian's enemy. However, because he wanted to learn from Lin Xian, he and Lin Xian could be considered as half-friends now. Although he felt that Lin Xian was bragging, Lin Xian's hugging 3 school beauties was indeed a fact. He had to admit that Lin Xian was quite something. Then the two of them walked over. There were many people, not only the advanced class students, but also a large number of St. Brilliant Academy students who were walking in the same direction. They were probably attracted by them. Lin Xian was very clear about the charm of Ling Ying and Han Chuxue. When they were in Tianhua Academy, their appearance would cause a sensation. However, it was a pity that at that time, it wasn't easy for them to appear in Tianhua Academy. They were mostly training, or in the advanced class. The advanced class was in the Sky Martial Court of Tianhua Academy. The Sky Martial Court had very few people, but it was different here. The so-called K-Room was a rather special building. It had a total of 3 floors. On the first floor there were 2 huge rooms. The decorations were very beautiful, and each room was a K-room. However, it was very, very big. It should be more than 500 square meters. It was very comfortable to sing in such a place. The awkward thing was that there should be 6 K-rooms on these 3 floors. The other 5 were empty, and only one was completely full. It was surrounded by people outside, and moving singing could be heard from inside. It was obvious that some people wanted to sing in the other rooms, but unfortunately, because of the presence of this person singing, they were too embarrassed to sing in the other rooms. This was because if they sang now, no boys would come to watch. They might sing well, but no one would watch. This kind of comparison was very uncomfortable, so the other rooms were empty. Lin Xian was very familiar with this voice. Wasn't this Ling Ying's voice? This girl was now letting herself go. How could he see her like this in the Tianhua Academy? However, this was normal. In the past, she did not have a boyfriend. Now that she had a boyfriend, she wanted to experience life. The fact that she did not have a boyfriend would still have a huge impact on a girl. Han Chuxue was the same. In the past, why would she attend such a place? But now, when she had nothing to do, she would go shopping and watch movies with Ling Ying. In the past, the demonic beast domain was her entertainment. It had changed quite a bit, but this change was good. Ling Ying is singing. Lu Jingyi's face was full of enjoyment. It was as if being able to hear this goddess singing was already a kind of happiness. However, this scene was really a little exaggerated. It felt like a celebrity's extravagance. Moreover, there was an endless stream of people rushing over. Lu Jingyi did not want anything to happen to Lin Xian. After all, he felt that following Lin Xian to learn some ways to pick up girls would be more useful than anyone else. The main thing was that to him now, Lin Xian was still valuable. Therefore he looked at Lin Xian and reminded him, "I have to remind you, young Master Lin." Because he felt that he was being pretentious and boastful, he changed the way he addressed him from Brother Xian to young Master Lin. "What? This Ling Ying and Han Chushua have two biggest suitors. Because of these two, although they have many admirers, no one dares to openly pursue them. Oh, are they very powerful?" Lin Xian raised his eyebrows and asked with a smile. "Of course, my Lu family is just an ant compared to them. Their power is the biggest existence in Lin City. The two of them are ranked 3rd and 4th in the Tianwu tournament in Lin City. They are also strong people in the backyard. One of them is from the Liao family. You should have heard of Liao Jian, right? He is a famous person in Lin City. He is Liao Jian's younger brother Liao Jibang. He is ranked 4th in the Tianwu tournament. The other one is even more exaggerated. He is ranked 3rd, and his identity is even more powerful. He is the grandson of the Lin City magistrate. That's something. However, before this, did they not pursue the number 1 beauty of your St. Brilliance Academy?" Lin Xian asked curiously. "No, because this number 1 beauty was pursued by an even more powerful person, so they did not pursue her. That person is ranked 2nd in the Tianwu tournament. His identity is even more powerful. He is the son of the Azura Palace's White Tiger Hall master." Chapter 647. The son of the Azura Palace's White Tiger Hall? Lin Xian raised his eyebrows. He seemed to be quite interested. The son of the Azura Palace's Hall master was not necessarily more powerful than the son of the Enforcement Union's president. But that was the case in Lin City. The president of the Enforcement Union was only the president of the Enforcement Union in Lin City. Similar to the president of Tianhua City's Enforcement Union, Zhang Nan, he had a certain amount of power. However, that was only in Tianhua City. Moreover, it belonged to the mainland, similar to a national organization. After all, the 3 major powers should be considered national organizations. Why couldn't they be compared to the Azura Palace? Because here, the Azura Palace was powerful. Moreover, the Azura Palace belonged to individuals. If you belonged to a national organization, you couldn't do too much, because there were too many people watching you. However, if you belonged to the Azura Palace, then it didn't matter. As long as you didn't break the law, you could do whatever you wanted. One of the hall masters of the Azura Palace should be one of the top powers in Lin City. What about the number 1? Lin Xian asked. The number 1 is the number 1 beauty of our St. Brilliant Academy. Aside from her beauty, her strength is also very heaven-defying. Lin Xian. What was going on? Could it be that the aqua blue planet had more females than males? Why were all the girls the strongest? It was the same in Tianhua City and St. Brilliant Academy. However, Lin Xian was still quite curious. That's why you have to be careful. They are Ling Ying and Han Chushua's number 1 pursuers. Needless to say, Ling Ying's pursuer, Liao Jibang, and Han Chushua's pursuer, Wang Haiyang, must be among them. Even if you want to do something, you have to be careful for your own safety. Lu Jingyi didn't want anything to happen to Lin Xian right now. Lin Xian nodded. Don't worry, it's just for fun. Hey young Master Lin, you can't change the topic. Remember our bet. You have to get Ling Ying and Han Chushua's contact information. Otherwise you have to pay me. Lin Xian smiled. Don't worry. Since you don't believe me, you will have to pay a price. Don't worry, take your time. Later, I will use practice to convince you to put 2 million in my hands. After saying that, Lin Xian leaned over. Excuse me. There were a lot of people surrounding them, and they couldn't squeeze in. However, this Lu Jingyi still had some ability. There were quite a lot of people in the advanced class, but there were still very few people who had power like him. Because of his actions, there were really people who made way for them, and the two of them squeezed into the room. On the contrary, there weren't many people in the room. There were only about 100 people in the room. It wasn't crowded with more than 100 people in a space of 5 to 600 square meters. The others were a bit further away, but there were two boys who were very close to Ling Ying and Han Chuxue. They were probably the two people that Lu Jingyi mentioned. At this moment, Ling Ying was singing in a low voice. She was here to entertain herself with Han Chuxue. So she didn't care about other people. She didn't care if they looked at her. Han Chuxue didn't sing, so she accompanied Ling Ying here, which was already a big change. As for the eyes of the surrounding boys, damn, it was simply an explosion of lust. The most important thing was that these two girls were really beautiful here. After Lin Xian went in, he didn't move. He just stood behind and looked at them. They also saw Lin Xian, but they had already reached a cooperation with Lin Xian. Now, the three of them pretended not to know each other, and didn't even make eye contact. Hey, young Master Lin, why aren't you moving? Lu Jingyi poked Lin Xian with his elbow and said. He really wanted to see what method this Lin Xian was going to use. In his heart, he really wanted to see him succeed. If he succeeded, then as long as he learned it, he would be awesome. Unfortunately, he still felt that it was impossible. After Ling Ying finished her song, there was applause and cheering around her. She really looked like a celebrity. Liao Zhibang walked over with a smile. Ling Ying, are you sure you're not a singer? It's really good. Thanks. Ling Ying said symbolically. Look, this is a typical bootlicker. You were like this before, right? Do you think he can get Ling Ying like this? Lu Jingyi shook his head. He didn't know. Give me a cigarette. Lin Xian said lightly. Huh. Lu Jingyi was completely confused. What does he want a cigarette for? Then he handed Lin Xian a cigarette. Fire. Then he handed Lin Xian a lighter. Hey, don't smoke here. Ling Ying and Han Chuxue are here. Lu Jingyi said nervously. Lin Xian then said. Now let me teach you your first lesson. You can't just suck up to a dog. The number one technique when it comes to picking up a girl is to scare her away. To be precise, you have to make all the girls fall in love with you. You have to stir up her emotions, be it happiness, excitement, sadness, or anger. As long as you can stir up her emotions, then you can proceed. Otherwise, no matter how good you are at sucking up to her, it won't be of any use. Of course, stirring up a girl's negative emotions is a relatively advanced technique. But when dealing with a girl of this level, ordinary techniques are indeed useless. Blow, continue to blow. Pa! The sound of a lighter could be heard, and Lin Xian stood at the back and started smoking. In this room, Lin Xian openly smoked a cigarette, attracting the attention of many people, and causing many people to whisper to each other. Ling Ying, sing another song. We all want to hear it. Liao Zhibang continued to cater to Ling Ying. Hey, Ling Ying has finished singing. It should be Chushue's turn, right? Chuxue, you sing. Wang Haiyang walked over and said to Han Chuxue with a smile. Han Chuxue shook her head slightly. Let someone else sing. Ling Ying then said. After saying that, she frowned slightly because there was a smell of smoke in the room. Then she looked at Lin Xian. This bastard, why is he getting worse and worse? He's even learning to smoke. For those who had already won the hearts of girls, of course they didn't want their boyfriends to smoke. But it didn't matter. Although smoking was harmful to one's health, for martial artists with higher realms, this harm was almost non-existent. But she still had to cooperate with Lin Xian's performance, right? That student, can you please put out your cigarette? Ling Ying looked at Lin Xian with an unhappy expression. Lu Jingyi wiped the cold sweat on his forehead and subconsciously stood back. Wang Haiyang and Liao Zhibang also looked at Lin Xian. Perhaps this was the time to perform. At this time, Lin Xian looked at Ling Ying and said with a smile, I'm smoking my cigarette, and you're singing your song. Is it any of your business? Hua! Everyone was shocked. He actually spoke to Ling Ying like this? Lu Jingyi was really sweating. Picking up girls like this? How is this possible? How can he pick up girls if he makes them feel disgusted? And he even wants them to take the initiative to ask for his contact number? This is absolutely impossible. This student, smoking is not allowed here. Please leave. Liao Zhibang frowned and stared at Lin Xian. His face was filled with anger, but his heart was happy. He could finally stand up for Ling Ying. Chapter 648. That's right. Perhaps out of 10,000 guys, in the face of the girl they liked and wanted to pursue, 9,999 of them would have the same idea as Liao Zhibang. This idea was indeed correct, and it was indeed a way to show off in front of the girl they liked. But could he really get a girl of this level just like that? Difficult. Although Lin Xian didn't know much about it, he really didn't use any touching methods to woo girls. He used shameless methods to woo them. No matter who it was, Miao Xiao Miao and the others were all like that. So at least in Lin Xian's mind, one didn't need to care for a girl when wooing her. Then you could only be a spare tire. It was that phrase again. When a guy gets a girl's heart, it's usually not the guy who can make her smile, but the guy who makes her cry. What did this phrase mean? A bootlicker. In many cases, you can't get a girl. A girl doesn't need to care for her before wooing her. Of course, this wasn't all cases, but under normal circumstances. Ling Ying was also a drama queen. He felt quite good acting with Lin Xian here. You're really a jerk. Ling Ying muttered. Good. He used this opportunity to scold Lin Xian. So good. Lin Xian didn't care at all. He definitely didn't care. The corner of his mouth curled up as he looked at Liao Zhibang walking over. Let me out. May I ask if there's a rule against smoking in the school? This was not an ordinary school. Smoking was a normal thing. You could even see many people walking around the school with a cigarette in their hand. You could even smoke in the classroom. Of course, you couldn't do it in front of the teachers. No. Then what are you talking about? What does it have to do with you whether I'm here or not? Or whether I smoke here? What does it have to do with you whether I smoke in front of a girl? What does it have to do with you whether I make a girl unhappy? This room isn't yours, so what does it have to do with you? Oh, I know, it's because you want to show off in front of the girl you like, right? Ling Ying secretly rubbed his forehead. This Lin Xian was still so shameless. However, she wasn't too worried about Lin Xian now. After all, he was a 5-star Thunder Tribulation Realm cultivator. Moreover, it was too easy for him to fight someone above his level. How many students in St. Brilliant's Academy could be his opponent? I'll just let him do whatever he wants. Anyway, I'm really bored during this period of time. I'll just play around. You! Liao Zhibang gritted his teeth and glared at Lin Xian. Especially in front of so many people in front of Ling Ying. How could he lose his composure? Who does he think he is? Who was Liao Zhibang? In Lin and City, there were not many people that he needed to be afraid of. Everyone was shocked to hear Lin Xian's words. F***CK. Who was this person? I've never seen it before. How dare he talk to Liao Zhibang like that? Isn't that too valiant? He doesn't put Liao Zhibang in his eyes at all. He doesn't even know how to cater to beautiful girls. Could it be that he likes men? Look at how pretentious he is now. He's still smoking here. Won't he be beaten to a pulp by Liao Zhibang? You're courting death. Do you know who this young master is? Liao Zhibang glared at Lin Xian angrily. F***CK. How many people in Lin and City dared to provoke him? He really didn't know what was good for him. His prestige was in St. Brilliant's Academy. How dare someone provoke him? Naturally, Wang Haiyang was watching with great interest. They were rivals to begin with. Neither of them were weak and neither of them could do anything to the other. It was really interesting to see Liao Zhibang being provoked in front of others. Lu Jingyi was going crazy. What was he doing? Was he courting death? He didn't know him. Now he was pretending not to know him. Lin Xian smirked. I don't care who you are. It doesn't matter whether you know or not. However, I know your brother Liao Jian. I even had a meal with him some time ago. Liao Zhibang frowned. He could have a meal with his brother Liao Jian? How many people in Lin and City had this qualification? How old was he? T. But looking at his confident expression, Liao Zhibang was actually unsure. What's your name? Go back and ask your brother if he knows someone called Lin Xian. You'll know. Now you can't afford to provoke me. Let your brother do it. Lin Xian sneered. What? Hearing Lin Xian's words, the crowd couldn't help but exclaim. Lin Xian. He's Lin Xian. F***CK. He's the one who has 2 beauties in St. Brilliant's Academy? He's the one who can even make the beauties get along with each other. That godly Lin Xian? F***CK your mother. Why don't I believe it? Is he handsome? Handsome JBA. He's too arrogant. What did he say? Liao Jian doesn't deserve to provoke him? Who exactly is this Lin Xian? For a moment the crowd was in an uproar. What? Ling Ying heard the discussion around him, and was puzzled. Lin Xian has two beauties in his arms. And a beauty in the academy? How infuriating. This Lin Xian is too infuriating. Han Qixue also felt uncomfortable in her heart, but she believed that Lin Xian would explain. Before everything was clear, it was better not to jump to conclusions. However, the anger on Ling Ying's face because Lin Xian had two beauties in his arms towards Lin Xian was in the eyes of others because Lin Xian smoked and didn't put her in his eyes. Who do you think you are? You think you're qualified to grumble in front of me? Although he felt that this Lin Xian might be something. How could Liao Jian not be angry when he openly said that he wasn't worthy in front of him? Behind the crowd, a figure walked over and revealed a smile. Interesting. The people in the backyard were only in the Thunder Tribulation realm. How powerful could they be? Lin Xian's eye of spiritual insight saw that Liao Jibang was only a 4-star Thunder Tribulation realm. Although a 4-star Thunder Tribulation realm was very powerful at this age, in Lin Xian's eyes, it was nothing. You're not worthy. Lin Xian shook his head in disappointment. You're courting death. Liao Jibang roared angrily, and a burst of power erupted from his body. Fixed image. Dark attribute. It was also a powerful attribute. However, if they were in the same realm, Lin Xian would have to put in some effort. However, Lin Xian's realm was 1 star higher than his. This fixed image wasn't something that Lin Xian could break in an instant. Then he angrily threw a punch at Lin Xian. Everyone sighed inwardly. Being pretentious, one had to pay the price for it. Liao Jian wasn't afraid of anything. Losing an arm or a leg was the lightest punishment. They could already see Lin Xian's miserable state. Shua. However, Lin Xian's figure suddenly disappeared. What? It wasn't just the people around. Liao Jian, Wang Haiyang, and even the man who passed by to watch the show were all shocked. He disappeared. Chapter 649. Their first reaction was that Lin Xian was also of the dark attribute. But on second thought that was not right. The dark attribute could only disappear and hide in dark places. But this was not the case. In the next moment, Lin Xian appeared behind Liao Jibang. At the same time he punched the air. Bang! Lin Xian kicked him in the butt. Then he fell to the ground and fell flat on his face. There was no mocking laughter. They were all extremely shocked. Ling Ying and Han Qixue shook their heads secretly. It was still the pretentious Lin Xian. Lu Jingyi's mouth was wide open. Was he really that strong? Space attribute. You actually have the space attribute. Liao Jibang got up and pointed at Lin Xian in shock. Space was still a very rare attribute. In the entire Tianhua Academy, there was only one Lin Xian. In the entire Sacred Academy, there was no one with the time attribute. It was enough to show how rare space was. It was normal for them to be shocked. There were so many people in the mysterious heaven realm who had never seen a space attribute ancient martial art practitioner. How could he appear in the Sacred Academy? This Lin Xian guy seems to be something. I remember now. Previously, there was a press conference by the Yixian Corporation. I think someone spoke. It seemed to be him. Impossible. Could he be from the Yixian Corporation? I'm not sure. But I heard that there was a person called Lin Xian in Tianhua City. He seemed to have made some contributions to Tianhua City. His name is also Lin Xian, and he just came to Sacred Academy. Could he be the Lin Xian from Tianhua City? Lin Xian snapped his fingers. Then, Liao Jibang disappeared in front of Lin Xian. He appeared in the air outside and fell to the ground. How terrifying. Space attribute is so terrifying. The dark attribute is completely at a disadvantage in front of the space attribute. And this is still daytime. Wait. Lin Xian easily controlled Liao Jibang. And Liao Jibang didn't even have time to break free from the space. Could it be that Lin Xian's cultivation level is even higher than Liao Jibang's? The passers-by didn't understand, but the protagonist, Liao Jibang, understood very well. He was indeed stronger than him. He was being controlled by the power of space, and he had no ability to resist at all. His expression was extremely ugly. Lin Xian, Liao Zhibang, will remember what happened today. I hope you'll be well. Liao Zhibang didn't seem like a stupid person. If he knew that he couldn't win, he would still fight with all his might. Wasn't that just courting death? If it was nighttime, he would have given it a try because nighttime was the dark attribute's heaven. Unfortunately, it wasn't. Of course I can. Lin Xian chuckled. Humph. Liao Zhibang snorted coldly and walked away. He was a smart person. He knew that he had lost a lot of face. However, he would only lose more face if he stayed here. There would be plenty of opportunities for him to get back at Lin Xian. What he needed to do now was to contact his brother and find out who Lin Xian was. The surrounding people were really shocked. Although Liao Zhibang wasn't the most powerful person in the entire St. Brilliance Academy, he was still one of the best. Now, he had actually suffered a loss at the hands of an unknown brat. Moreover, he didn't even dare to retaliate on the spot. This was really unexpected. Lu Jingyi didn't say anything. Of course, he was shocked, but he felt that Lin Xian wouldn't have a good time in the future. He didn't think that Lin Xian could compete with Liao Zhibang. Let's go. Ling Ying pulled Han Chuxue, and his beautiful little face had a huff and puff look. It seemed that he was angered by Lin Xian, and then he pulled Han Chuxue out of the room. Of course, Lu Jingyi didn't forget what they were supposed to do, and that was to pick up girls. Ling Ying was already so angry, and her anger was already showing on her face. How could this Lin Xian ask for her contact information, and even let her take the initiative to ask for it? This was already impossible. It seemed that this Lin Xian was just talking, and didn't have any real talent in picking up girls. As for Lu Yufan and the others, they had to admit that he had some skills, but when it came to Ling Ying and the others, he was useless. Young Master Lin, let's not talk about Liao Zhibang for now. Now about picking up girls, you can pay up now. Lu Jingyi patted Lin Xian's shoulder and said, he was learning the art of picking up girls from Lin Xian, and he was still making money. No one else could do it. Lin Xian revealed a smile. You think you won? Of course. Didn't you see how angry Ling Ying was? She left because of you. So how could you get her contact information? How about this? If you can still get her contact information, I'll give you 2 million. If you can get her to give you her WeChat, I'll give you 5 million. Lin Xian's lips curled up. Let's go. The practice has just begun. Do you think I'm lying? I'll let you experience the true realm of picking up girls. The first realm is called the compliment picking up technique. The second realm is what I call the negative compliment technique. There are even more profound ones that you won't be able to experience right now. Lin Xian walked over after he finished speaking. TSK, pretentious. Lu Jingyi's face was full of disdain. He planned to earn Lin Xian's money and ignore him in the future. He didn't want to learn the art of picking up girls from him. He estimated that Lin Xian was only slightly better than him. He probably only knew how to use flowery words to deceive inexperienced girls like Lu Yufan. Many people's eyes were on Lin Xian and Lu Jingyi. They didn't know what they were going to do, but they chose to follow Ling Ying and Lu Jingyi. Then they saw Lin Xian and Lu Jingyi walking over to the 2 goddess-level school beauties and hitting on them. Weren't they looking for trouble? Hey beautiful. Lin Xian called out to Ling Ying and Han Chuxue from behind. The 2 girls also stopped in their tracks. Ling Ying turned to look at Lin Xian with a face full of displeasure. What? Weren't you too lazy to talk to me? Sorry, I don't want to talk to you either. Lu Jingyi laughed disdainfully in his heart. The girls are already like this. It's over. I'm going to make money. Lin Xian scratched his head. Well, I'm really sorry about what happened just now. I'm a stubborn person, regardless of whether it's a man or a woman. No matter who it is, I'm like this. You saw it too. Even if it's Liao Zhibang, I didn't give him any face. But now that I think about it, what I did just now was indeed wrong. You're right to scold me. Whether it's smoking in front of girls or in public, it's actually not right behavior. Lu Jingyi laughed disdainfully in his heart. Apologize? Was an apology useful? Even if it was useful, his favorability level was 0 before. He had angered them, and his favorability level had become negative. Even if this apology was useful, it would still return to zero. It was meaningless. When the people around them heard Lin Xian's apology, they couldn't help but laugh like a clown. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.